We are not going to rethink, we are not going to change our decision.
We'll bring you details as Guta also throws weight behind protests calling for the scrap of the electricity and emission levies, warning of dire consequences on businesses. Also, ministers of Interior and Fisheries to reappear before Parliament's Public Accounts Committee today to answer to infractions in the Auditor General's report, including failure to execute contracts amounting to 1.24 million cedis.
You go and come back on Monday. And when you are coming, come with the management of Guma. Come and explain to us.
In business,
interest rates fall for the fifth consecutive week as government records 58% oversubscription of treasury bill sales. More on the Joy Business Report.
And later we bring you the chilling story of an HIV positive woman who claims she is having unprotected sex with unsuspecting men.
I'm scared
that if I disclose my status to the men, they will sack or quit the relationship with me.
I am Amir Sinyamiche Thompson. Details shortly. Let's dig in now. Organized labor will wear red this morning in a series of actions to compel government to withdraw a 15% VAT on electricity consumption. The workers say if government fails to withdraw the directive or levy, they will stage a massive demonstration on February 13. Here's an early interview with Deputy Secretary General Joshua Ansah indicating a no backing down on their demand.
Monday morning, we expect you to be in red, and we expect all Ghanaians to be in red. All offices must be cladded with red to show a signal to government that we are serious about what we are saying. And if government doesn't listen to us, on the 13th, the whole country will go on demonstration, and after that, it will follow by nationwide strike.
Well, Mr. Ansah also reiterated that organized labor is opposed to any move to dialogue. They only want the directive withdrawn.
You see how the game is played. So, we have now learned how to play the game, and you play it boot for boot. We will play it nicely with them. As said by Bampo, we are not going to rethink, we are not going to change our decision until a total withdrawal of that letter is done. And then we can look the way forward. Because if anybody says that now the government wants to talk to you and don't want to listen, I think that person is not right.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Union of Traders Association Guta also says it strongly opposes the proposed implementation of the electricity tax as well as the emission levy due to the detrimental economic consequences it will have on businesses. My colleague Samuel Imbura joins me in studio with more details. Samuel, why does Guta believe these taxes will burden the cost of doing business?
Mami, according to Guta, the tax will impact businesses, particularly those heavily reliant on electricity for their operations. Such businesses will face increased financial strain, which could potentially lead to reduced production capacity, layoffs, and even business closures, and ultimately impede economic progress and dampen job creation opportunities. Furthermore, Guta says the implementation of the emission levy will further compound challenges in terms of double taxation and lack of electric vehicles infrastructure like charging stations and reliable source of power.
Well, what are they asking for?
Guta is urging the government to reconsider these measures and engage in thorough consultations with key stakeholders, including the business community, before implementing the new taxes. It is crucial that the voices and concerns of businesses are heard and taken into account to ensure policies that do not hinder economic growth and investment. And that's what Guta is saying.
Thank you very much, Samuel. Well, reacting to the latest reports about a cabinet directive for a possible withdrawal of the levy, ranking member on Employment, Social Welfare and State Enterprises Committee in Parliament, Dr. Kwabena Donko said the Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta must obey the directive. He spoke on the probe last night.
Let's get this straight. No Ghanaian voted for the Finance Minister. Ghanaians voted for a president. And Ghanaians voted for a legislature. So the finance minister is only a treasurer, the national treasurer. And she should comply by the directives of the president in cabinet. No one voted for the finance minister.
Well, still on taxes, flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, says the government is presently taxing industries to death. According to him, these taxes is an attempt to rebalance deficit. Mr. Mahama wants government to reduce its expenditure to aid economic recovery. He made this call while engaging businesses and owners in small town meetings. Here are excerpts.
Unfortunately, today, businesses are burdened with so many taxes. Ghanaian citizens are burdened with so many taxes. And the point is there's a limit to which you can impose tax. Because if you impose too much tax, the economy stops growing. And if the economy stops growing, then the ability to pay is limited. And so today you can go and lock people's shop and things. People are not buying because there's no disposable income in the pockets of the citizens. And so if you want to quickly resolve an economic crisis, while you increase income, you also reduce expenditure.
Well, leader for the Movement for Change, Alan Kojo is taking a swipe at the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta for taking credit for the marginal recovery of the economy. In his recent public engagement, Mr. Ofori-Atta appears confident that the country has weathered the storm of economic turmoil, adding that Ghana is on the pathway of recovery. However, in a scathing criticism of the Finance Minister, Alan Kojo says Ken Ofori-Atta, who was against Ghana going to the IMF for bailout, has no right to take credit.
The Minister of Finance has no right to be taking credit for the marginal improvements that we are seeing in the economy, because it is clear that it was against Ghana going to the IMF. And I can say with pride that I was one of the few senior leaders in government that made a decision that we had gotten to a point where we had no choice. That's what leadership is about. And because government's most powerful tool is policy making, all I needed to do, it doesn't cost money, it's just brain power, was to put together an automobile vehicle assembly policy.
Mr. Alan Tremantin. Now, the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana, NALAG, is raising concern over the high number of women whose appointments were revoked in President Akufo-Addo's reshuffle over the weekend. 24 district chief executives were terminated with immediate effect. Speaking to Joy News, General Secretary of NALAG, Kokroko Amankwa, said the number of women serving in the position of MMDCEs has reduced from 39 to 33.
Our concern as NALAG is that more women's appointments were revoked in relation to the number that we have in government as the Metropolitan Municipal and District Chief Executive. Because if you check the record, you realize that about 7 have been revoked. And I must even add that when you look through the nomination, I think it even goes beyond the 24 that the president naturally revoked, because when you look at the nomination, it is not 24, it's 26, in an addition of 2 assemblies.
Well, away from that, the Ministry of Interior and Fisheries are expected to reappear before Parliament's Public Accounts Committee today for failing to answer to some irregularities when they appeared before the committee on Friday. My colleague James Aveji has more on this report.
Appearing before the Public Accounts Committee on day 4 of its sitting were the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, seeking relief from the chairman. MP for Bole Bamboy, Yusuf Suleimana, sought explanation on the processes of recent recruitment into the security services. According to him, the various security agencies have recruited personnel in the last 2 years without any advertisement, but the minister said all the recruitment were backlogs from 2021.
We did the 2021 adverts, and all that we were doing was the backlog. So we did it.
Well, her hopes and dreams were dashed after she lost 6 of her nuclear family members to HIV/AIDS infections. Comfort, who feels her existence on Earth is meaningless, claims she's now spreading the virus to men who request for sex in return for financial assistance. There's more on the following report by Stanley Niblel.
The men that came her way, they are many, uncountable. I can't count them. Yes, as we are speaking, she's still spreading it. Because she can stay with you for a month. Off, she's gone. 2-3 days, she'll get another person. I don't know. She's so lucky in getting men.
After the death of her HIV-infected husband, she has had unprotected sex with 10 other men, of whom some are married. Comfort explains in the Akan language why she conceals her HIV status from the men who make sexual advances towards her.
I'm scared
that if I disclose my status to the men, they will suck or quit the relationship with me. And if that happens, they will spread the news in the neighborhood.
And on that note, we end the bulletin. In our top story. Organized Labour kickstarts series of actions to force government to withdraw the 15% VAT on electricity consumption. I am Amisi Nyamiche Thompson, and up next is Business on the Super Morning Show.
Is over. It's the Clash of Titans. The Total Energies African Cup of Nations Côte d'Ivoire 2023 is here. And as part of this year's competition, all Total Energy service stations will go into 100% football mode. So drive to selected service stations and kickstart your year with lots of amazing giveaways. So starting Sunday 14th January, when you buy fuel or lubricants on selected match days from selected Total Energy service stations, you instantly win amazing branded souvenirs. Let's celebrate the passion of football together and win lots of gifts during the 2023 Total Energies African Cup of Nations. Remember, promo is valid while stocks last. Visit our social
Get to glory with the ABSA Card Assist. Tap to pay with your ABSA debit or credit card and you could win an unforgettable Premier League experience in the UK or any of over 50 consolation prizes such as home appliances and shopping vouchers. It's time to tap your way to the Premier League with your ABSA card. ABSA, the official banking partner of the Premier League. Terms and conditions apply.
Millennium Insurance has enhanced its motor insurance policy cover to make life more comfortable for you, our valued clients, and in the event of vehicle breakdown whilst on the road. To ensure your safety and that of your vehicle, Millennium Insurance will ensure that your broken down vehicle is towed to a safe place within 1 hour of call and 30 kilometers radius from the place of breakdown. This service is absolutely free. Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner, is on standby to be of service to you. Contact us now on 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821, 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821.
Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
No matter your water needs, Syntex has it all. Syntex tank was first to introduce double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Syntex tank was first to introduce white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now introduces the customer specs order, which will let you order any color and size you want. Syntex tanks gives you the biggest warranty of 7 years, which no other tank gives you. So whatever your water consumption, size of project, or demand, choose Syntex tank. Syntex tank, stress-free. Syntex tank, reliable. Syntex tank, maximum guarantee. Call 0244 335 168, Kumasi 0505 555 666, or visit syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, a strong, a tough.
Breaking news. Vodafone Ghana is becoming Telecel. Stay tuned.
Hello? Yeah, Kofi. Charlie, we spoke about going to Imperial for our motor insurance today.
Share, are you the one to remind me? I am at Imperial already.
What?
I told you about their motor insurance promo, right?
Yeah.
This time it is reloaded, my brother.
Wow.
Imperial General is saying, come insure with them from now till the end of April and get yourself handsome rewards. 4 coupons, special souvenirs, gift vouchers, and many, many more. And here's the catch. During this reward period, your motor insurance policy will give you an automatic 1-year life insurance cover, my brother. And now you can also get brand new tires and other car accessories as well. It is really reloaded. Everybody qualifies. Just insure your car and you are done.
Hey, Charlie, I can even do it online and still get my reward.
Oh yes, don't slow. Talk to your broker, agent, or call us on 0577 667 436 for further details. You can also follow us on all our socials. T's and C's apply. Imperial General Assurance. Solid protection.
Anyway, Pios.
Hi, Kojo.
How you doing?
Very well.
Have they changed your MCE or DC or whichever CE applies to you?
No.
Same guy.
Same guy.
Or lady? Which one? Same guy.
Yeah. Within the Polyclinic municipality.
All right. How is he doing?
In terms of performance, you mean, right?
Yeah, Charlie.
And well, I don't know. I've not had the chance to, go down to the constituency itself but there isn't anything much within the College municipality.
Yeah, I mean, because the idea of your chief executive is that he's the mayor, right?
Yeah.
So really, everything that will happen in your, municipality, should happen because he made it happen. If you have bustling and thriving business, it should be because he made it possible. If you have good roads, it should be because he got them constructed. If you have good schools, it should be because he has improved the education standards in your area.
True.
If you have, well-constructed buildings, it's because he and his team have supervised construction properly in your area. If you have low crime, it should be because he has cracked down, on criminals.
Yeah.
Everything that works should be because your mayor is working. So do things work? So you see, it makes you wonder, like, what does the president think of in choosing these people? And how does he measure their performance to replace some and keep others? What's the matrix here?
Yeah.
And when are we going to get a say in it?
True.
Right? When are we going to get a say in it?
That's a good question, though.
Yeah. Today we'll see if we can tackle it and other things. But right now, of course, we start with gratitude for the 6 a.m. news, which was brought to us by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. And Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. It's time for the Joy Business Report.
Lovely Monday morning to you. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up, interest rates fall for the 5th consecutive week as government records 58% oversubscription of T-bill sales. Meanwhile, Fitch Solutions forecasts upside risks to the country's interest rate projection. Plus, cedi's sharp depreciation last month despite international monetary fund flow attributed to fresh energy sector payments to power producers. We have details of these and many others lined up for you. Please stay. Grateful for your company. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Interest rates fell for the 5th consecutive week on the yield curve. That's according to results of Treasury bills auctioned by the Bank of Ghana. This is expected to help reduce marginally the cost of government's domestic debt. More in this report.
Interest rates continue to ease following an expected decline in inflation in January 2024. The rate on the 91-day bill went down by 30 basis points to 28.29%. That of the 182-day bill also took a nosedive to 30.79% from the previous weeks of 31.09%. The one-year bill also dropped to 31.39% from the preceding weeks of 31.79%. Meanwhile, demand for T-bills remained high as the government secured 4.52 billion cedis from the sale of the short-term securities. This represented about 58% oversubscription. The majority of the bids came from the 91-day bill, in which the uptake was 1.914 billion cedis. This was approximately 42.27%. The 364-day bill followed suit with a subscription of 1.402 billion cedis. All the bids were accepted. The 182-day bill also saw bids worth 1.211 billion tendered. All the bids were accepted.
A Business Desk report. Now, Fitch Solutions is forecasting upside risks to the country's interest rate projection. That's according to its latest article dubbed More Interest Rate Cuts on the Way in Ghana following cautious start of easing cycle. Here's more.
The UK-based firm said an escalation in geopolitical tensions could disrupt global trade, leading to further increases in global commodity prices. As Ghana is a net importer of both fuel and food items, such an increase would raise the cost of imports and disrupt the disinflation process. It added there's also a risk that negotiations between Ghana and its commercial creditors will stall and take longer than currently anticipated. This would delay International Monetary Fund disbursements and weaken investor confidence, resulting in a sell-off of the cedi and a resurgence of inflation. In both scenarios, it said the Bank of Ghana would embark on a more conservative monetary easing cycle than currently forecast.
A Business Desk report. Now, the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research is making a strong case for the government to address challenges affecting Ghana's cocoa sector. This comes on the back of the 2024 Economist Intelligence Unit Commodities Outlook, which indicates that the price of cocoa will go up. According to Director of the Research, Professor Peter Quartey, government should be swift in restructuring Ghana Cocoa Board and other critical areas within the cocoa value chain for the sector to improve on its revenue. Speaking to Joy Business, he said government must act fast.
We need to fight the illegal mining problem, and if we do so, then we can rake in the revenue from cocoa and also Cocoa Board, and they have to be supported. I believe in the budget statement and also in the IMF program, there were steps to ensure that Cocoa Board is restructured, that there will be Minister of Finance, for instance, said you're going to be part of the board and so many. So there are steps or proposals that have been made. It's just putting them to practice to ensure that these organizations operate efficiently, they are managed, they are governed properly, efficiently. And once that is done, I believe in the next couple of years, they will be back on their feet.
Professor Peter Quartey is the director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISE, speaking there. Investment banking firm Synergy Global Holdings has advised financial institutions to design friendly and practical products to support the agricultural sector. The company made the appeal after research it conducted showed that only 15% of farms in Ghana are commercialized. Speaking to Joy Business, analyst with the group Linda Latte said the report of the agri sector being risky can't be reversed.
Yeah, we understand that the agri sector may be risky, but it's not hopeless. So considering the sector having much to offer, stakeholders should adapt to key or let me say creative schemes that could solve their challenges at the same time or in the same way, providing finance to them. So in a way of the suggestions we put in out there in our article stating that they could adapt. I think Ghana is doing well with some of them. So far, the pay-as-you-go financing scheme is notable. So we commend that.
Linda Latte is an analyst with Synergy Global Holdings. Now, the Ghana cedi's woes last month, despite the inflow of the $600 million International Monetary Fund package, was due to some payments of energy sector debt to power producers. This is what Joy Business has picked up from some currency traders with commercial banks. George Yafe reports.
The Ghana cedi since the last quarter of 2023 posted one of its longest relative stability against the US dollar. However, it started recording some blips last month. Some industry watchers described this development as interesting, especially at the time that Ghana managed to pass its first program review with the IMF and later received the first tranche of cash during that month. But some currency traders working with the banks have told Joy Business that there has been some fresh payments made to the power producers in the energy sector to prevent any outages, which has largely contributed to the sudden pressure on the Ghana cedi. This sent signals to the market that the Bank of Ghana's reserves could be coming under some pressure, coupled with the normal demand from businesses that want to restock for the year and some payments made to the agri sector. However, news of the Bank of Ghana's reserves has crossed over $6 billion, so as the more than $300 million from the World Bank that should be coming in soon could change this trend. But for some, unless you cross the first quarter of this year, they will still argue that the stability of the Ghana cedi is yet to be tested.
George Yafe with that report. More within the energy space, the Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Independent Power Generators Ghana, Eli Plame Apetogbo, has described the Emissions Levy Act as a politically risked venture which will increase the cost of power. According to him, the emissions levy would trigger an increase in electricity tariffs. In a statement, Dr. Apetogbo said the implementation of the Emissions Levy Act necessitates an equal measure of review of the electricity generation tariff to ensure the predictability of the cash flow obligations of the power producers. He goes on to say the implementation of the new tax laws and amendments directed the enactment of the Emissions Levy Act. This law imposes a levy of 100 cedis per ton on carbon dioxide equivalent emissions from the electricity producers as statutory incidents. And we now go to the currency market, and the cedi this morning is going for 12 cedis 45 pesos to the US dollar in the retail market. It is selling at 15 cedis 65 pesos against the pound. It is, however, trading at 13 cedis 38 pesos to the euro. To some other stories, the National Petroleum Authority has revealed that more oil marketing companies are expected to adjust fuel prices upward from today. It is coming after the three major OMCs took the lead to review prices at the pumps. There are reports that only a few companies will increase prices, but Head of Economic Regulations Abbas Tasunti tells Joy Business the increment will cut across the OMCs.
Price increments happen in line with what happens on the international market and also exchange rate. So the price increments you are seeing is something that affects all oil marketing companies. So starting from the first day of the window, the new prices start to take effect. So you would have realized that some oil marketing companies have already started increasing their prices. From our projection, the prices are going to affect every OMC, and therefore we expect that from their own point of view, they will make different price adjustments as in line with the price regulation policy.
Abbas Tatunti is the head of economic regulation at the National Petroleum Authority. We shall now go to the stock market, and the price of Unilever PLC is expected to increase this week due to increased bids for the stock above its current market price. Let's now hear from Grace Monoyan of Data Bank Research on how your stocks will fare this week on the Ghana Stock Exchange.
Meridian Marshalls Holding Company closed as the sole price mover after declining 1 peso to 10 pesos per share. Despite the decline, the market indices closed the week unchanged due to the stock's negligible contribution to the market's capitalization. The Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index held steady at 1.35% year-to-date, while the Data Bank Stock Index maintained its year-to-date gains at 1.14%. Market activity advanced week on week with 2.7 million shares valued at 4.1 million Ghana cedis changing hands across 21 counters. MTN Ghana was the most active counter, accounting for 79% of the recorded turnover. This week, we expect the price of Unilever Ghana to increase due to increased bids for the stocks above its current market price. For Joy Business Reports, Grace Munanyun of Data Bank Research.
A dash to the commodities market. Crude oil is selling this morning at $77 a barrel. Gold lost more than $9 to open trading at $2,030 an ounce. Cocoa, however, went up by $53 and is trading at $5,009 a ton. That's it.
Yeah, Charlie. So, our people say we should play Celestine Donko. What do you say?
Oh.
Are you on board?
Yeah, I'm on board.
If you approve, then I approve. So this one actually features Obapa Christie as well. It's What Shall I Render? Okay. Yeah. Okay. We go. Listen, we've got lots to get through today. Maybe we'll start now.
Yes, with our Drive Safe campaign brought to us by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Superior Quality and Imperial General Assurance Solid Protection. And this one says, be extra careful in bad weather. Be extra cautious in bad weather. Increase the space between your vehicle and the one ahead. Consider driving below the speed limit, and be alert around curves. If the driving condition worsens, consider waiting it out in a safe place. When the visibility is affected and you decide to park on the side of the road, make sure to turn off your lights. Drivers also struggling with the poor visibility will be on the lookout for other cars to follow, and they might not realize in time that yours is stationary. And that's how to drive safe.
And there's a stationary vehicle right after John Tay, if you're familiar with the Pokwase Road. And because the road is under construction, it's causing massive traffic.
That road. I mean, I used it last week.
Crazy. I think it will be good when such vehicles break down for the vehicles to be moved immediately. Otherwise, it causes crazy traffic. I wonder how people are doing in traffic right now. Yeah, so just drive safe if you're using the stretch.
Look, the last time I used it last week, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Look, you're right. I think I may have seen a vehicle there, and there was huge traffic on the stretch. Anyway, those of you using that
are really... the dust as well.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. That's my daily hustle. All right, let's say it right. Say it right, brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks. And Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
You know, there are some pronunciation errors we really should stop making in this election year. Here's one. Repeat after me. Polling station. Polling station. P-O-L-L-I-N-G. Polling station. Not pulling station. Today's Say It Right is for everyone, especially my colleague journalists, who sometimes say pulling station when they mean polling station. Interestingly, the word poll has Germanic origins. It originally meant head. Poll later made its way into the English language sometime in the 13th century when it was used to describe the process of counting heads during a vote. Today, it simply means the collection and collation of votes. It has absolutely nothing to do with pulling, which means to exert force on something or someone to make it move towards yourself. So now you know, and if I were to take a poll after today, I bet we would all say it right.
Let's call the whole thing on.
There we go.
Yes, a lot of people have said it wrongly, that the wrong one has become more like the correct one. Polling station, polling station, polling station.
What are you pulling?
When you actually mean polling station. Anyway.
All right. Well, before we get into the news review, brought to us, as always, by Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough, and Enterprise Insurance at 100. Yafine Promotion, celebrating our legacy, securing your future. Just before that, did you guys catch Alan Chamanting on Newsfile?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. A few of the things he said.
I'm not one of the politicians that will say, oh, but if you bring it out and people know about what you want to do, then either people will steal your ideas
or their manifestos.
I'm not interested in that.
Okay.
I know with the help of God, I'll become president. And so I want to prepare what will make it possible for me to make a difference before I get to power. Not to wait until they give you the mandate and you are now coming to put together a team to decide what you want to do. That alone takes 1.5 years.
If you wanted to share with us one of the diagnoses and the, as it were, the prescription for our economic, situation, what will it be in that plan?
I would say, let's say currency, the stability of our currency. I mean, look, I have 150 policy prescriptions in the whole GTP, which are categorized under 6 thematic areas. But the focus on this one was just the economic cluster. Now, but when you are looking at economic revitalization, the stability of your currency is very important because it has implications for inflation in particular. It has implications for even the level of growth that you can achieve as a country and the multiplier effect. So I believe that if we just took the issue of currency, the strength of your currency is a factor, or it's a question of the demand and supply of foreign exchange. And the more foreign exchange you have, the more stable your currency will be as against other currencies, particularly, let's say, the dollar. Now, in this particular case, if we are able to increase exports, it means the supply of foreign exchange would increase. At the same time, if you are able to reduce the level of imports, then we would also conserve foreign exchange. So if you have more foreign exchange, then that strengthens your local currency because you need less local currency now to exchange for 1 unit of dollar.
Yeah. So, Alan Chamanting there, not shy with his proposals and policies. But it is a trend, isn't it, sometimes among politicians to kind of hold things close to their chest for as long as they can, for fear of having their ideas stolen. Which, I mean, if you ask me, I have always considered to be preposterous. Because you want to go on record as having some ideas, having some plans, some policies, some, you must convince the voter that you know what you're coming to do. And this idea of holding on to it for as long as you can so that somebody doesn't steal it. I mean, what? If you have ideas that are so good that others want to steal, all the better.
Well, could you, I mean, you're right, but, a part of the world when, sometimes parties, particularly those in opposition, their fear is that once I say I want to do this, then government implements it. Then they say, oh, we're already doing it. And I remember, years ago, when Kwabena Dufo was finance minister, he would go to parliament, and then once he reads the budget, he says, oh, we're doing this, and MPP say, oh, that's our plan, and he say, oh, you couldn't do it, we are doing it for you. That's just on a lighter note, but this is the point for me. In this election, and you can see all the major candidates in the election talking about the things that they want to do, because this election will be decided by the best programs and policies for the country.
I hope so.
Yes. Well, the truth is that all the research that has been conducted would indicate that a lot of people make their decisions based on, one, how the economy is, and two, also your performance and what you intend to do. The challenge here is that a lot of the times we're unable to measure what you intend to do because people make promises, get into office, and do different things. And so that actually, and you've seen in the over the last 2 or 3 days over the weekend, there's been a lot of conversations about giving people a hearing, giving people a chance, and let's not, hold people on to the failures of this government. It is because of how the NPP got into office in the first place and the current situation in the country. That notwithstanding, I remember having a conversation with Mahama Yariga years ago, and he said, you only do not, which I agree, you only do not win an election based on the failures of the government. You also win an election based on what you intend to do and how you're able to convince people that you can do it.
Precisely.
For me, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So and everybody should be giving a chance. Everybody who wants to be president should be listened to and be giving a chance to explain himself and why he or she should be president.
And I think that's exactly what Alan tried to do on Saturday. It was quite refreshing. And he talked about putting out, a budget, as in the next budgets, as he sees it. We should begin to talk about the policies and the issues, and then also begin to review people's track records. That was one of the things that was so clear on Saturday, and the sort of things that he's done. I don't think that we even know half of the things that Alan has done in his private and public life. And I just wish I mean, watching him, listening to him, I thought, oh, this will be such a fine precedent, if only, you know.
Well, I mean, we've been impressed by people's track records in the past, and then they've come into office and disappointed us. We've seen it all. So at this point, really, it's more about being able to test people's ideas, being able to test them. So someone says, when I come, I'll do this. Then we can take that idea that he's put out and test it. Say, okay, so if you do this and this goes wrong or that happens, how will you fix it? Like, test it and then have it on record so that when you come, we can hold you to it. No more of these, liars. You don't promise and then come into office and then you do absolutely nothing like what you said you would. Okay, none of that anymore. So for me, and by the way, if you say you love this country and you have an idea, you have a policy that you know will work for this country, but your only concern is that if you put it out, the government of the day will implement it first, then you don't love this country. Let them implement it. Don't we all gain if they implement it? And I mean, is that the only idea you can come up with? So if really your reason for not coming out with your policies on time is because you don't want the government of the day to implement them, then you don't love this country. Let's move on. What's in the papers this morning?
Well, the Daily Graphic talks about cement regulation takes effect, no new factories without license and existing companies to re-register. VAT on electricity, ICU questions government's late engagement with Labour. We're told that government has decided to halt the implementation of the VAT on electricity.
Yes. Whispers from cabinet.
Yes. I mean, it didn't make a lot of sense anyway. But also on the front page.
Are they dropping because there's an impending action by labor unions, or they are doing so because they realize that it will be insensitive to keep piling taxes on people whose cost of living really is already poor?
Well, I mean, which one do you think it is? On the 1st of January, they intended to implement it. So what has happened between then and now to make them realize that it's a burden on people? If not the threats of action.
That would be a shame, because we need government to come to the realization that you can't keep taxing these same people. Not everyone is fortunate to have gotten a salary increment, for instance. Businesses are also suffering. I mean, you can't keep taxing people when cost of doing business already is difficult in this country. Cost of living is hard. We need government to come to that realization, and not because government has been threatened by labor unions.
Look, the party itself, the NPP itself, it admonished them to get rid of this thing or to not implement this thing. So at some point, I think it just became common sense and survival.
I'll tell you what.
To scrap it.
I'll tell you what. Our leaders in this country, what don't we give them? They live in a bungalow, as we call it, state bungalow.
Mm-hmm.
They live in they use a government vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them
we pay for fuel, we service.
Yes, we pay for fuel, we service it. I have lived in a regional minister's house at the time when food was provided for him. And so if you don't have food, the chefs will go to the regional coordinating council and say that there's no food, and they'll make food readily available. So we actually insulate them.
Allowance.
They get entertainment
we
allowance,
insulate
clothing
them
allowance.
from everything.
And on top of all that, inconvenience allowance.
So you see, we insulate them from everything we're going through. The original idea was to ensure that they do not become corrupt. So because we do all of these things for them, there will be no temptation to steal from the state.
That was warped thinking.
Unfortunately, because we do all of these things for them, their reality changes overnight, and they do not feel the pains that we sometimes go through. I am happy that the NPP itself realized that this was bad. I am happy that Labour realized it was bad, and that government has decided not to implement it. But it should not only be VAT on electricity. It should also be emissions levy.
Oh, yes.
So, TUC, good job, but let's move to the emissions levy and let's move to other taxes. I think that, and it is my belief, that we can do well in this country if we begin to cut down our expenditure. It is my belief. You see, I've always made reference to years ago when Anthony Doku then a deputy commissioner of the Ghana Revenue Authority, wrote to the Flagstaff House at the time and indicated that an estimated 36 billion Ghana cedis was lost. This was in 2015. Was lost at our ports only. Ports.
Leakages.
36 billion Ghana cedis. Just at the ports. I say, we have enough money in this country. We are burdening the Ghanaian when all we need to do is to deal with the wastage. Finally, Jospon Russian University signed educational deal. So they'll be giving scholarships to some 120 Ghanaians over a 5-year period. So 600 Ghanaians to study in Russia. Comes with a photograph of Joseph Siang Ejapong.
All right, let's review the Finder newspaper. Light crop cocoa imports dates back to 2005 for commercial reasons. I'll come back to this. No Ghana card, no service, says the Lands Commission. Lands Commission hints as it launches 5-year strategic plan. That's also in the paper today. Jinapo urges African countries to tie foreign investment to value addition. But a bit about the no Ghana card, no service. The Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission, Benjamin Arthur, has indicated that the Commission will soon refuse its services to persons who do not have the Ghana card. This is part of the Commission's strategic moves to curtail the activities of middlemen and prevent land fraud. Why is that not totally convincing to me when you say to get rid of middlemen? Because we know, we're very familiar with the issues at the Lands Commission. And I don't know if Ghana card alone can resolve that issue at the Lands Commission. But in terms of this issue that's also been making rounds, the Ghana Cocoa Board, records available to the Ghana Cocoa Board, according to the story, reveal that local cocoa processing companies have been importing cocoa beans into Ghana since 2005, and most of these companies process light crop beans, which constitute less than 15% of the total crop of Ghana. So it's been in our books. We've actually been importing for a very, very long time. It's not a new trend.
So are we importing some sort of beans that we cannot grow here? Is that what it is?
So my understanding is that it's not as rich as what we grow here.
Then why?
So they import so that they can mix.
Really?
Yeah, that's.
It would be nice to have someone explain it, so that the layman can understand. I mean, what type of beans are these? Why do we have to import them? Is it because we cannot grow them here? What's going on? What is it about?
Cocoa Board has actually issued a statement, and in that statement, they indicate that the variety grown in Ghana, which is of high quality, is expensive. So some of these processors in the country sometimes say they need other varieties in making their products. So when it comes to the need for other varieties, they write to Cocoa Board, and Cocoa Board gives them authorization to actually bring these. So they write to the relevant authorities, and they're giving the permission to bring these into the country. So it's based on the raw materials needed for their products.
So the other varieties are needed because our variety is too expensive.
That's what is in the statement.
Interesting. Okay then.
Shouldn't we rather be guarding the premium?
I would have thought that we would prefer to reduce our price to sell to these customers rather than let them go and buy from outside. I mean, I would have thought. But I'm not a cocoa industry player, so whom am I?
Let me just read the press statement verbatim. It says, all processing companies in Ghana established post-November 2021 are permitted by law to import cocoa beans for processing in Ghana. The practice is to help companies meet their desired recipes for chocolate production and other uses. Ghana's cocoa is a premium cocoa, and as part of cost management and operational strategy, companies often blend premium Ghana cocoa with less premium cocoa beans from other producing countries. It is an industry practice that has existed for over 20 years to allow factories to import from other countries, including Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, Nigeria, and Ecuador. Let's get to the Ghanaian Times then. Talks about Jospon offering 600 scholarships to students, partnering Russian University to train them abroad in the next 5 years. TUC threatens nationwide demo on February 13. Government calls for dialogue, and President replaces 26 district municipal chief executives. I asked that simple question. I mean, what consultations went into all of this? I mean, don't we the people matter? And Carpenter jailed for 10 years for defiling 13 old and partner government to exploit gold deposits in dollar power. That's according to Lands and Natural Resources Minister.
Let's go online. The online review is brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy.
So what do you do when you run out of fuel in your vehicle? Do you just stop up anywhere? Please don't do that if that's what you do. Let's introduce you to the Good Energy family and why you must be part. So Goyle Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP are the best quality fuels with high performance in town for your vehicle. And Goyle Super XP Ron 95 is also a high-grade fuel sold at the same price as normal fuel. And Goyle Diesel XP is low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. What's more, with over 440 stations across the nation, please join the family that rewards you with quality for an energized driving experience. Goyle, Good Energy Goyle, Yen Ara Yedim.
And navigating through the hurdles of an SME can be stressful and sometimes risky. But what is life without risk and a business owner without a Zenith SME business card? The Zenith SME business card is a Visa debit card tailor-made for SMEs for secure payments for goods and services. As a Zenith SME business card holder, you have access to Visa practical training skills, business services at discounted rates, 24/7 access to funds, and much more. Your business deserves to be taken to the next level. Unlock the potential of your business with a Zenith SME business card today. Call us on 0302680884 or 0307086370 or visit zenithbank.com.gh to know more about the Zenith SME business card. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
All right. So, Cabinet to remove 15% VAT on electricity. That's on myjoyonline.com. City Newsroom has some stories as well, including, same one is the big one there. Emission levy, government not being fair with Ghanaians, according to a tax analyst. And I saw a story on Reuters about a man who got drunk, went missing, and there was a search party sent out for him, and he joined the search party to search for himself. Go check that out. Right now it's time for the BBC News, brought to you by Fidelity Bank, believe with us, and Old Mutual, 10 years of greatness in Ghana, here for a lifetime.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Want to feel energized for more? Fuel up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle. Our high grade fuel comes at no extra cost but with more power. And our Diesel XP, it's low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. Experience high performance and quality with our products. Available everywhere. Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Good energy.
It's a century of safeguarding dreams with Enterprise Insurance. In the spirit of our 100th anniversary, Enterprise Insurance revs it up with Yafinia Motor Promotion. One lucky winner will cruise around in a sleek brand new Nissan Kicks SUV. First and second runner-ups will jet off to Dubai for an all-expense-paid escape. Renew or get your vehicle insurance between January and June 2024 and win free fuel coupons. Monthly raffle draws give you cool gadgets like laptops, Samsung phones, microwaves, gas cooker, tabletop fridge, and many more. Enterprise Insurance Yafinia Motor Promotion is on at all our branches. Call your broker or agent to buy or renew your motor insurance and make history with Enterprise Insurance at 100. Celebrating our legacy, securing your future. Time-tested, truly trusted. That's the Enterprise Advantage. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Hello, Ghana. I've got great news for you. After 26 years of academic excellence globally, Botho University is now in Ghana, offering degree programs in health information management, cybersecurity and risk management, software engineering, network security, and computer forensics. Admissions are ongoing for January 2024 with up to 50% scholarship for the first 150 students. We offer flexible payment terms, internship opportunities, and experiential exchange programs with our sister campuses. Pick up your admission form today at our East Legon campus near ANC Mall or call 0302-523-782 or WhatsApp 020-990-4714 for more information. Both the university, vibrance, innovation, impact.
Dear business owner, congrats on not giving up on your business. You deserve a medal, and your business deserves to be taken to the next level. In fact, it's about time you run a Zenith Bank SME account so you and your business can enjoy the perks of a Zenith SME business card. Oga and Oga Madam status.
The Zenith SME Business Card is a Visa debit card for making secure payments for goods and services. Enjoy great benefits such as free customized digital SME training, free marketing toolkits, access to Visa practical skills training, and more. Unlock the potential of your business today. Visit any Zenith Bank branch nationwide and sign up for the Zenith SME Business Card, the ultimate payment solution for SMEs. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com.gh or call 0302-680-884 or 0307-086-370. Zenith Bank, in your best interests.
Claimed victory in the presidential election with a quarter of the ballots counted. We will speak to our correspondent for the latest.
The United States and its allies have launched more attacks on Houthi positions in Yemen. The US says it isn't done with retaliatory action against Iran-backed groups in the Middle East.
We will also hear about the medical team investigating Sudan's unexplained deaths in children.
And the Grammy Music Awards have been taking place in Los Angeles. We'll have a roundup of musicians who've taken home the top prizes.
We'll have business, sport, and all the latest world news.
Hello, I'm Moira Alderson with the BBC News. The incumbent, Nayib Bukele, has claimed a decisive victory in the presidential election in El Salvador. Mr. Bukele says he's won more than 85% of the votes. He's been credited with significantly reducing crime levels. Last year, the murder rate fell to its lowest in 3 decades. Speaking to his supporters, Mr. Bukele said they couldn't stop now.
We are on the cusp of winning the war against the gangs. Literally, we went from being, it's not an exaggeration, it's not a hyperbole, literally we went from being the most dangerous country in the world to being the most secure in all of the Western Hemisphere.
Mr. Bukele has, however, faced criticism over human rights violations and the methods used to tackle violent crime. An Australian writer and dissident has been given a suspended death sentence in China, almost 5 years after he was arrested on unspecified charges of spying. Chinese-born Han Yung-jen was detained in 2019. Stephen McDonnell reports.
China's ambassador to Canberra has been summoned by the Australian government after news that Australian writer and dissident Yang Heng-jun had received a suspended death sentence. If he commits no other crime in prison over the next 2 years, his sentence will be commuted to life imprisonment. His family in Sydney said they were shocked and devastated by the news, which they described as at the extreme end of worst expectations. The Chinese-born Australian was detained in Guangzhou Airport in 2019. His alleged crimes are said to relate to espionage, but have never been explained publicly.
US senators have announced a long-sought bipartisan bill that aims to combat illegal immigration at the US-Mexico border and in return unlock funding for Ukraine in its war against Russia. Senators have spent months negotiating the package worth nearly $120 billion. The bill allocates $20 billion to border security and $60 billion to Kyiv, as well as aid for Gaza and Israel. The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is about to arrive in the Middle East. His trip comes after days of airstrikes by the US against Iranian-linked targets in Iraq, Syria and Yemen. From Baghdad, here's Hugo Bishega.
Antony Blinken is arriving in Saudi Arabia today. His tour of the region includes Egypt, also Israel and the West Bank. And again, at the top of his agenda is the negotiations for a pause in hostilities in Gaza. He's trying to guarantee the release of the hostages who remain in captivity in Gaza. Now, these are very difficult negotiations, but I think the idea here is that any kind of a pause in hostilities in Gaza would lead to a reduction of violence that we've seen across the region.
BBC News. The authorities in Chile say wildfires raging in the centre of the country have now killed at least 112 people. An Interior Ministry official said there were still 40 active fires across the country. Earlier, the President, Gabriel Boric, warned that the number of people confirmed dead was likely to rise significantly. Police in Pakistan say at least 10 officers have been killed in an attack by militants on a police station in the northwest of the country. 6 more were injured in the assault. Violence has escalated in Pakistan ahead of general elections scheduled to take place on Thursday. The head of the African Union has called for dialogue in Senegal after the presidential election was abruptly postponed. In a statement, Moussa Faki Mohamed expressed concern and asked for peaceful elections to go ahead as soon as possible. On Sunday, police fired tear gas and carried out arrests at a protest as hundreds of people demonstrated. At the Grammy Music Awards, Taylor Swift has become the first artist to win the Best Album Award for the 4th time. The prize was presented by Celine Dion, who made her first appearance in years following her diagnosis of stiff person syndrome. Emma Vardy reports.
Good evening and welcome to music's biggest night.
As a storm battered LA, inside the arena, the awards rained down for female artists. Taylor Swift keeps on breaking records and made history, becoming the only artist to win Best Album 4 times.
All I want to do is keep being able to do this. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. It makes me unbelievably blown away that it makes some people happy who voted for this award too. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do what I love so much.
Billie Eilish won Song of the Year with her hit from the Barbie soundtrack, What Was I Made For? While the most nominated artist this year, SZA, picked up 3 awards.
BBC News.
What's so tasty, creamy, crunchy, makes you happy when it's near? Munchie, munchie, oh munchie, shortcake biscuit.
Enjoy the unbeatable taste of Munchie Milk Shortcake biscuits, serving you original milky richness for 20 years. Munchie, a rich ankasa. This advert is FDA approved.
Do you want to study in India? Thai Global is bringing directors of India's leading universities and colleges to facilitate your admission to pursue first degree, master's or PhD programs. 8th of February, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Kumasi, Lancaster Hotel, and in Accra, 9th of February 2024 at La Palm Royal Beach Hotel from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. There will be lots of scholarship opportunities. Call 0532 546478 or 0200 565626.
He's up bright and early, serving your premium morning radio show. The Morning Man. It's the Morning Man, Kojo Jackson.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the
Single from Usher featuring Feels. And Churchill, you know Feels?
Yeah.
Yeah. The artist behind that big hit from Nigeria. Happiness.
I know that song.
Yeah. Feels. On an Usher track. And a deeply beautiful one at that. I really like this song. It's called Ruin.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Fresh Nunu.
My friends used to say fresh from the ghetto.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good one, not a bad one.
And since it's DJ Ubeti playing it, so fresh from Asha, man. All right, it's 7:10 on the Super Morning Show. And this morning, look, a little bit of local governance, okay? Let's try and understand something here. So we are still, as a democracy, letting our president choose our mayors for us. And he's doing it however he sees fit. And we don't get a say in it. We get saddled with whomever he thinks he should give the position to. We don't even get the opportunity to assess their work. I mean, and this ought to be the most important political position in this country. The mayor, the guy who's running the assembly, the chief executive, right? Look, if there's going to be a reduction in crime in your district or your municipality or metropolis, it's going to be because you have a good mayor. If there are going to be good roads, it's because you have a good mayor. If there are going to be good schools, it's because you have a good mayor. If there's going to be business, commerce, it's because you have a good mayor. Every single thing. You see, we have created this situation where because people want to chop money at the center of government, at the top, so they try to make everything their responsibility. If you're going to get roads, it has to come from central government. If you're going to get schools, central government. But in reality, the system we have created, it is your mayor whose performance will determine what kind of area you live in.
So years ago when we decided to practice decentralization, we did so with a view that development had to be localized and participatory. We did so with a view that we said people should know, and at the basic level where things concern them, they should be part of the processes. Okay, they should be part. So this is it. Even when it comes to the enactment of bylaws, what we have is that you have your assembly, so that your local assembly, with your representatives in the assembly, engaging in the passage of these bylaws. In fact, even with our parliament, part of the reason the the MPs are, part of the district assemblies without a voting right is that whatever it is that is even discussed at the national level, they come to the local level, brief people, take views, and get back to the national level.
Yeah.
Now, this is it. The people whom we elect or who are supposed to serve at the local level must first of all be committed to the development of that place. They must see themselves as representatives of a group of people to whom they are accountable to and responsible for their development.
Yep.
Now, how would they do so? They would do so, one, when they feel obliged to be accountable to the people. But how do they become accountable to the people? They become accountable to the people when their sustenance or continuous stay in the office is dependent on how well they have served the people. So this is the point for me. We woke up on Saturday morning and the president had decided that people should be, that he was bringing in new persons. I live in the East Municipal Assembly.
Yep.
The nominated person is Deborah Ampofu, whom I don't know. In fact, I've been trying to Google and I've been asking people about this new person who's going to be leading the district assembly. The previous one that I have complained about consistently, and I had said, even our roads were very bad. We complained and said every district assembly had, a grader that could be used to smoothen the road. When I sat on radio and complained about how poor the roads were, and I talked about even how bad the road from leading to the assembly, the headquarters, the assembly office was.
Yeah.
what they did was to go and tar their road. And they've tarred it actually.
Mm-hmm.
Our road, that's Teman, still in a deplorable state. Nobody cares. It would surprise you to note that the community where I live, the estate where I live, people have had to contribute money to the sales and now wait on the assembly to come and grade the road. Just think about it for a minute. And I have consistently talked about this. I mean, I ask myself the simple question, why do I need to make, so they say, oh, you need to pay a property rate, you need to pay this, and I ask myself, to what end? But you see, if that person within that community, because part of decentralization, if you talk about the whole concept of fiscal federalism or fiscal decentralization, because you're transferring funds, you're transferring power to these people, so they're able to embark on development. Unfortunately, the DCEs, MCEs cannot even complain when their common fund is not released to them, because the moment they complain about the non-release of common funds, trust me, that person will be out of office.
Imagine that.
Yes.
The whole reason why you were put there.
Because that person cannot talk. And I say, enough. Enough. Ghanaians deserve better. In whichever form, today, if we decide we want to elect MMDCEs, we can elect them. We may not need to change the constitution. We may not need to go for a referendum if we decide to elect them on non-partisan basis.
Yep.
So, we need to take a decision now. And I am all for election. So, if we think that it will be spending too much money going for a referendum, and if the government thinks that people will kick against it, well, save your breath. Let's just go for it in a non-partisan manner.
And
let's elect them.
Free. Because honestly, at some point, we have to decide that this is a democratic country. At some point, we have to make that decision. Because as it stands, the only person who benefits from us not electing our MMDCs, the only people who benefit are the executive government. They are the only ones. In fact, it doesn't work in the favor of parliamentarians. It doesn't work in their favor because all the pressure is on them to provide all of this development when it's not their job. So parliamentarians, dear, I am pretty sure they would rather we elect these MMDCEs. So it's the executive government that's benefiting. At some point, we need to just make it quite clear to them that you can't continue to do things in your interest when we put you there to serve us. Anyway, we have said some. We'll leave the rest for you. The show has only just begun, and your views are paramount in this conversation. So make sure you use the hashtag JoySMS when you post on X, and we'll tell everybody what you're thinking.
Wake up to joy, joy, joy. Sunshine and joy in the morning time. Yeah. Wake up to the super morning show. Yeah. Wake up to joy.
Now, the College of Medicine and Allied Sciences is a degree-awarding institution offering a Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, using the Graduate Entry Medical Program, as well as Bachelor of Diagnostic Imaging and BSc Health Information Management. All of these programs are accredited by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC. Now, at COMAS, as they like to be called, they pride themselves in innovative bilingual curriculum that prepares you to consult in French and as a graduate with an entrepreneurial, research and ethical mindset. Admissions are currently ongoing for all SHS graduates who wish to obtain a first degree in health information management, SHS science graduates who want to gain a degree in Bachelor of Diagnostic Imaging, and graduates with science background who would like to accomplish their dream of becoming medical doctors. So you can call them now on 0208 456 556 or email info@comas.edu.gh. COMAS, the citadel of a holistic professional medical education.
And as a business owner, insurance is very important. When you have a business, you're not only responsible for your livelihood and goods, but also for that of your clients and customers, as well as staff. And SIC Insurance has a full array of insurance policies for your business, which covers property, workmen's compensation, key persons, motor, public liability, business interruption, and more. Potentially disastrous situations can be prevented with the right insurance cover. So talk to SIC Insurance today on 0800 1055 or 0302823 and you'll be glad you did. SIC Insurance, our promises are sacred.
Now, the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations rages on. Côte d'Ivoire 2023 is still going on, and as part of this year's competition, all Total Energies service stations will go into 100% football mode. You know, we still love the game, and we still want everybody to feel the football fever. So drive to selected service stations and continue the year with lots of amazing giveaways, starting, from now. When you buy fuel or lubricants on selected match days from selected Total Energy service stations, you instantly win amazing branded souvenirs. Let's celebrate the passion of football together and win lots of gifts during the 2023 Total Energies African Cup of Nations. Remember, the promo is valid while stock lasts, so go visit social media pages Total Energies GH for more information. Terms and conditions apply. #football together.
And let me just remind you that the AFCONs are the semi-finals. Of course, Ghana not in there.
Kafra.
Start the new year with easy and secure movement with SG Ghana. Get reliable motor insurance and receive free fuel for your car. Beg your pardon. Buy or renew your Sound Drive insurance with SG Ghana from now till the 31st of March and get free fuel of up to 500 Ghana cedis for your trips. It's time to hit the road with reliable insurance and free fuel. Visit any SG Ghana branch today and get the cover that you need for your car plus free fuel to take you places. Sun Drive plan is underwritten by Allianz Insurance. Terms and conditions apply. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
All right, Toyota users, come around, gather around the radio, let's have a conversation. Get ready for a revolution. If you want your Toyota engine to function optimally, then there's only one choice, the Toyota Genuine Motor Oil. The Toyota Genuine Motor Oil has been rigorously tested and proven to be the best oil for your Toyota engine, specially crafted to keep your Toyota engine running smoothly. Hey, listen, smoothly. Yeah, smoothly.
Agbagba is listening.
Yeah, you should stay in his corner. Running smoothly and efficiently, the Toyota Genuine Motor Oil is available in all Toyota Ghana branches across the nation. Now, nothing makes your engine happier than Toyota Genuine Motor Oil. For bulk purchase or distribution, why don't you call Toyota Ghana on 0302 429 801. Toyota Ghana Company Limited is proud to be associated with Joy FM and the Joy News Drive Safe campaign on the Super Morning Show. Toyota, superior quality.
And of course, this morning, one of the things we want to do, Kojo, I want to hear from all of you, those who have had their MMDCEs changed, or sacked, and replaced. Would like to hear from you, whether you know even the people who are taking over and your own assessment of them. But of course, as the Imperial Insure and Win promo reloaded, insure your vehicle with Imperial General Assurance from now till the end of April and get yourself handsome rewards, fuel coupons, special souvenirs, gift vouchers, and many more. And here's the catch. During this reward period, your motor insurance policy will give you an automatic 1-year life insurance cover. You could also get brand new car tires and other car accessories as well. It's really reloaded. Everybody qualifies. Just come insure your vehicle and you're done. Call us today on 0577667436 or talk to your broker or any of our agents across the country for further details. You can also follow us on all our social media handles. Terms and conditions apply. Imperial General Assurance, solid protection.
All right, don't forget, Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited invites you warmly to their website, kingdomstoreonline.com. That's where the best quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture, as well as, of course, stationery, is waiting for you to come and browse and pay for via Momo across all networks, and then just sit at home and wait for your free delivery if you live in Accra or Tema. Terms and conditions apply. At Kingdom. Quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
And Enterprise Insurance says, Yafinio, Yafini. Enterprise Insurance, leader in general insurance since 1924, celebrates 100 years with the Yafini Motor Insurance promotion. Now, one lucky winner will drive off in a brand new Nissan Kicks SUV. First and second runners will jet off to Dubai, all expense paid. To win, purchase or renew your vehicle insurance with Enterprise between now and June 2024. Monthly raffle draws offer you lovely laptops, TVs, microwaves, fridges, and more. Also win instant fuel, coupons, and gifts. Visit any Enterprise Insurance branch or call your broker or agent. Call us directly on 0302-634-777. Experience the time-tested and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise Insurance, your advantage.
All right, I'm sure you're ready for some nutrition. It comes from Nestle. And of course, they offer good food for a good life.
Your son, yeah, football star. When does he train? What time does he even wake up? Breakfast time. No, he wakes up earlier, but when I give him Milo with breakfast, that's when I see that the champion in him is awake.
Don't just wake up your child, wake up the champion in him. Let Milo with Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa help wake up the champion in your child every day. Milo, energy to go further. Milo. This advert is FDA approved.
This is Nestle Nutrition Line. Nestle Nutrition Line is a public service program from Nestle Ghana Limited. Nestle Nutrition Line offers tips on good food for a good life. Now to your presenter.
Hello, good morning. Some like it hot, some like it cold, but we like it the Nestle Nutrition way. So I'd like to welcome you warmly to the sweetest corner of the day. I'm Jackie Ankra, also known as Na Ajelisoa. How you feeling? Well and strong and looking forward to a beautiful day, I hope. Today we've got a weight loss tip, and it is to eat slowly. Slow eating is very important and is a habit that can help you eat less and lose some weight. During a meal, the stomach begins to stretch as food enters it, and as it gets full, hormones produce signals to the brain telling it you're satisfied. When you chew and eat quickly, you're more likely to have overeaten by the time satiety signals are sent from the stomach. On the other hand, if you eat slowly and deliberately, you're more likely to receive satisfaction signals from the stomach in time not to overeat. If you have tried this and failed in the past, it could be because of a situation called leptin resistance, where overweight and obese people become less responsive to the satisfaction signals sent. This means even if they eat slowly, they still won't feel satisfied enough to stop eating. That is why you should combine eating slowly with eating in smaller dishes, eating more green vegetables, and other techniques to help you control portion sizes. This is all that time will allow for today. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I always enjoy my time with you, and I look forward to spending more. So do please join us again on our next episode. I'd like to thank you for tuning in this and every weekday morning, and to say your feedback is precious. So do please reach out, let us know what you're thinking, feeling, so we can work together for a healthier, longer, happier life. The numbers to call 0302 517 020 or 0302 211 880. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Toll free 0800 12 0001. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to midnight. Weekends and holidays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. To send a WhatsApp, SMS, or call between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. 0593 845697, 0593 845649, or 0593 845708. Alternatively, you can send an email to consumerservices@gh.nestle.com. So I hope you're doing well with New Year resolutions. Don't forget that hurdles are meant to be overcome. So get over them and be the winner, the champion, the victor that you were made to be. Have a great day. Bye. Mavis, this your son. Yeah, football star. When does he train? What time does he even wake up? Breakfast time.
No, he wakes up earlier, but when I give him Milo with breakfast, that's when I see that the champion in him is awake.
Don't just wake up your child, wake up the champion in him. Let Milo with Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa help wake up the champion in your child every day. Milo, energy to go further. Milo! This advert is FDA approved.
Across Africa, a new era has begun, connecting us with one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future. A Pan-African future. Together. EcoBank. A better way, a better Africa.
Provident Insurance. Provident Insurance welcomes you to a new year. Remember to insure your new car or renew your existing motor insurance from the 1st of January to the 31st of March. You can win free gifts such as fuel coupons and several other branded Provident souvenirs. Rush for insurance cover now. Terms and conditions apply.
Insurance, your future happy days.
With Provident, man, you are covered.
Okay. We have a very special birthday wish, which we'll get into in a moment. But first, birthday messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go. And Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group,
as close as a partner.
Okay, now this one is very special. I'm going to read it as is, okay? It says, the thing we remember most about our loved ones is the way they make us feel, which easily explains why you are one of the most memorable people anyone could ever meet. From your pace-setting vision, which birthed a game-changing organization like KNET, to your genuine interest and care for all those in both your personal and professional lives, as well as your singular focus on results and your iron will that has propelled you over, under, and around obstacles that would have stopped many in their tracks. Everything about your life exudes excellence, and that easily rubs off on all those lucky enough to be in your orbit. Personally, I can never finish thanking you for your friendship and guidance, and a connection that started because of work has evolved into one of the most significant relationships of my life. And I know I am not the only beneficiary of your love and care. Today, I am privileged to celebrate you. Your life is an example to the world. Long may it remain so. Happy birthday, Togbe Richard Clomado. And this one comes from our very own Chief Ken. Yes. Wow, that's a special birthday wish, isn't it?
Chief Ken.
Yes.
Okay. Ken answer.
Yes,
yeah.
Ken answer.
Yeah.
Chief Ken answer.
Yeah. Powerful Chief Ken answer. Yeah.
He's a big man.
Champion man.
Senior man.
Anyway,
so I
guess I think I have one here. Let me see. Today's the birthday of Sam Boabasa. So happy birthday to you, and happy birthday to Reverend Mrs. Eugenia Marilaye, who is minister in charge of Bethlehem Preaching Point Osu. From Michael Ashite Ama to you. And today is Rosalind Felly's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
so happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
Rosalind Felly on Prime Morning.
Yes.
On the Prime Morning.
We are
show.
coming for Wachi.
Won't be bad, the crowd.
All right, happy birthday to Nana Redu, William Charles Kwao, Emmanuel Cab Ampofo, Fred Kwesi Jan Baini, Nana Yaukumsen, Ewonuli Gifty Tete. I hope I've said that right. Ata Nyame Ba and Nana Kwansa. Also, this is a good morning, not a happy birthday, a good morning to an avid listener, Gifty Gigi Anadero. Thank you for tuning in.
All right,
shall we go?
Let's go.
All right, the Joy Sports Center is brought to you by
MTN.
Everywhere you go. Standard Chartered Bank, here for good. And Twisco Energy Food Drink from Promasidor Company Limited. Twisco, power your dream.
I like it. Power your dream.
And did you know that MTN Momo now has an app? Well, MTN Momo has a brand new app specially designed to make your Momo experience easier, convenient, and faster. Just download the Momo app on Play Store, App Store on your smartphone and look out for the blue and yellow icon. It's that simple. Momo app allows you to view your statements, pay bills, and so much more. Use the app for your Momo transactions and enjoy 100% bonus when you recharge using the Momo app. So go on, download the Momo app now and start transacting with a flex at no cost. Just Momo it everywhere you go.
Now, welcome to your future, a future designed exclusively to propel women-led businesses to the next level. Are you a female entrepreneur developing technology or leveraging technology? The Standard Chartered Women in Tech Incubator Program offers specialized mentoring, mini MBA business courses, curated networks, tailored masterclasses, and seed funding to help you unlock unimaginable business growth. Apply now to the Standard Chartered Women in Tech program. Go to scwomenintechgh.com or the Standard Chartered Bank Ghana social media pages for more information. Application deadline is the 29th of February 2024. And see, you're wild. Yeah.
Rojo?
Yeah, fantastic.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Did you have a good weekend?
It was not the worst I've ever had. Very quiet and calm. I like it like that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anyway, time for sports. And we are still in AFCON mode here at Joy Sports. And then there were four. All of you, good morning. Welcome aboard to the Joy Sports Center. With me, Tahiru Fento, coming up this morning. And then there were four from 24 teams. The Africa Cup of Nations is now into the semi-final stage with 4 teams battling for a place in Sunday's final.
To give South Africa the advantage. Comfortably converts. Patrick Andrade against Ronwen Williams. Williams sends South Africa into the semi-finals for the first time since 2000. He's made 4 saves in the penalty shootout.
That's right. South Africa, one of the 4, thanks to the goalkeeper, Ronwen Williams, who became the first goalkeeper to save 4 penalties in an AFCON shootout to carry Bafana into the semi-finals of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. They won the penalty shootout 2-1 after the game ended goalless in extra time at the Charles Cornham Barney Stadium on Saturday. The South Africa coach is Hugo Bruce. He says it was not by luck that his captain saved 4 penalties.
And we were not lucky because we had a very good keeper today. If you can take 4 penalties, this is not luck anymore. You can take 1, but 4, this is not luck. And he did not only that, he saved us 2 minutes before the end also with a player who was alone in front of him. So yes, he was man of the match.
Meanwhile, Ronwen Williams himself credited his teammates for leaving everything on the pitch to ensure South Africa reached the semis.
The fight, the desire we had as a team tonight to fight for 120 plus minutes, that's what matters to me. You know, to see the brotherhood out there, to fight, to keep going, that matters to me, and that's what's more important, you know. So I will receive this trophy on behalf of all the players, the technical team, the staff, everyone that's been on this journey with us.
South Africa captain Ronwen Williams. South Africa, of course, in the semi-finals is the first time they have reached the semis since the year 2000. When Ghana co-hosted the competition with Nigeria. That time, it was Nigeria that knocked them out to make the final. And so the Bafana are looking to avenge that defeat from some 24 years ago. Nigeria themselves confirmed their place in the last 4 with a narrow 1-0 win over Angola. Ademola Lookman scored the only goal of that game. The Nigeria captain is William Troost Ekong. He says the win has won them a few doubters.
Yeah, you know, we believed in it from the start. I think you guys are starting to believe in it now, which is nice. But yeah, I think we have to keep working harder. We have to keep doing what we're doing now. But it's not going to be easy. We have to win the semi-final first. We were here in Egypt before in the semi-final. We lost last minute against Algeria in 2019. And I know how that feels. And I don't want to feel that again.
That's William Troost Ekong. That semi-final, in fact, both of them will be on Wednesday. Meanwhile, host nation Cote d'Ivoire showed exactly what it means to have the proverbial 9 lives.
Opening up for them, into the box they go. Just got to drop it into Fofana. It doesn't break free, but it does now. Oh, the noise levels are insane because the Dingo who's just come on has brought the Ivorians level with just seconds of the 90s to go. Over all of them headed away. Comes to Fofana. Leonardo is in the back of the net. And Ivory Coast has surely won it. Extraordinary scenes. They played with 10 men for well over an hour. And right at the end, with seconds to go.
It was unbelievable. No words could describe what happened. The host nation performed a dramatic escape act as Umar Diakite netted a 122nd minute winner to secure a semi-final spot for the Elephants at the expense of heartbroken Mali. The host nation played the majority of the game with 10 men after Odilon Kusunu was sent off in the first half, and then they also fell behind to Nini Douglas's classy curler in the 71st minute. So a man down and a goal down. But the Ivorians equalized right on the 90th minute through Simon Adingre's opportunistic finish to send the game into extra time. And then they won it with virtually the last kick of extra time when Diakite diverted Sekou Fofana's shot into the net. Diakite then got sent off for taking off his shirt for a second yellow card, which means he will now miss that semi-final against DR Congo. DR Congo themselves, they made it through to the semis, beating Guinea 3-1 at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium to book their semi-final spot. I beg your pardon, they beat Mali in that semi-final clash there to book their place in the semi-final of the AFCON. Both semi-final matches will be played on Wednesday. The DR Congo left back is Arthur Masuaku. He says the character the team has built did the work for them.
Well, like I said before, I think we have a team with a great character, and we prove it again. When we suffer, we don't go down, and it happened again. So everyone is very happy, and hopefully we go to the final. Thank you for supporting us. We are doing this for you, and take care.
That's Arthur Masuaku, the DR Congo left back. Still on AFCON-related news, Egypt have sacked manager Rui Vitória following their disappointing AFCON campaign. The Pharaohs exited the tournament at the last 16th stage after a penalty shootout defeat to DR Congo. The former Al Ahly coach Mohamed Youssef has been appointed as Egypt's interim manager, with conversations that they are close to appointing Hervé Renard, who is currently the head coach of France's women's national team. Let's move on to other stories now. The 2026 FIFA World Cup schedule was released yesterday. The MetLife Stadium in New Jersey will host the final of the 2026 FIFA World Cup on 19th of July, while the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City will stage the opening group game on the 11th of June. It's the third time that stadium will host the opening game of a FIFA World Cup, having done it in 1970 and in 1986. Mexico is one of 3 countries co-hosting the expanded 48-team tournament, along with the USA and Canada, which will last a record 39 days. The USA will play their opening game in Los Angeles, while Canada's opening game will be played in Toronto. Let's do some boxing now. Ghanaian-born British boxer Joshua Boakye outpunched friend and rival Don Aziz in a brilliant light heavyweight bout at Wembley's OVO Arena. Boakye, by this win, also ended the unbeaten run of Aziz in 20 fights. 2 judges scored it 116-110 and the other 117-109 to Boakye in a bout where both men continued swinging into the final seconds. A Joy Sports boxing expert is Nathaniel Atto. He watched this fight.
It keeps him at number 1 in the WBA rankings and the WBO rankings as well. Thing is that the result of this fight then puts him in line to face Dimitri Bivol, who is the WBA champion at light heavyweight. Well, the remaining 3 belts are firmly in the hands of Arthur Bertibiev, who is in line to fight Dimitri Bivol. So that is the only factor that could delay this world title fight that Joshua Boakye has been looking forward to. So it's looking good for him. He's put up a very good fight, and his name, sure, is on the lips of all the boxing fans in South London. This was a grudge bout, and the next step will then be to go for the ultimate, which will be a world title.
That's not only a lot to do. Let's wrap up with some Premier League news.
Good skill by Trossard. Off he goes, Leandro Trossard. At speed. Oh, it's in! And that seals it for Arsenal! They lead 3-1 and it's Trossard's goal! Absolutely wild scenes on the touch.
Yeah, Arsenal, they reduced Liverpool's lead at the top of the Premier League to 2 points after a deserved 3-1 victory yesterday in a tense encounter at the Emirates Stadium. Meanwhile, Man United secured a 3-0 win over Mohamed Kudus' West Ham at Old Trafford. Chelsea, though, were battered at home 4-2 by Wolverhampton Wanderers. That came happen at Stamford Bridge. It's back-to-back matches now where Chelsea have conceded 4 in the Premier League. They also conceded 4 in midweek against Liverpool. Elsewhere, Ghana defender Tariq Lamptey, he provided an assist as Brighton thumped Jordan Ayew's Crystal Palace 4-1. Everton, they scored late to hold Tottenham to a 2-2 draw there. In La Liga, the big game between Real Madrid and Atletico ended 1-0. In Barcelona, they got a 3-1 win over Alaves there. But Real Madrid remain top of the table, followed by Girona. Barcelona are some 8 points behind their rivals, Real Madrid. And before we go, the former Ghana assistant coach, Maxwell Knodu, has applied for the vacant Black Stars coaching job. Joy Sports sources have revealed. The Nsoataman FC boss, who was assistant to departed Kwesi Appiah between 2012 and 2022, is believed to be one of the most experienced coaches in the country. He has over 10 years experience as assistant and interim coach of the 4-time African champion. So we'll see what becomes of his application. That's all the sports this morning on the Joy Sports Center. My name is Fentuo Tahiru Fentuo. Good morning, Winston.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Maxwell Kunedu, you want to see him at the helm? Are you laughing?
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
What do you mean no?
I don't want to see him.
You don't want to empower your countrymen?
Power which countrymen?
Empower
the countrymen.
Yes.
Is Maxwell Kunedu the best man to manage the Black Stars?
Is he the best Ghana-based coach?
Is he the best man to manage the Black Stars?
He could be.
Is he?
Well, whoever we appoint wouldn't be the best man. You know why? Because whoever we appoint wouldn't be the best coach in the world. So that is a very subjective argument to make.
Well, so
because the best coach in the world, some people will say is Pep Guardiola. Others might say Jurgen Klopp.
Others might say Carlo Ancelotti.
So there you go. So whoever Ghana appoints will not be the best coach.
Jurgen Koller. Anyway, thank you very much, Fentuo Tahiru Fentuo, for joining us with the latest in the world of sports. Let's get interactive this morning. Join us on social media using the hashtag JoySMS on X. You can also join us on WhatsApp 055-1111-997. And this morning, we're back to our local government conversation. We've asked you that simple question. So, there's been changes, but if your MCE was changed, do you know who your new MCE is and what will be your expectations? Isn't it about time we elected these persons? Social media messages on the Super Morning Show brought to us by EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa, and Provident Insurance. With Provident, man, you are covered. So when people didn't know about their vehicles, they considered walking as the best mode of transportation. However, with the introduction of cars and more sophisticated means of travel, humanity is leveled up because who would say no to a better way of doing things? Nobody. And that's why EcoBank is giving its customers an even better way to bank. Banking with EcoBank means you're in for better ways of connecting to opportunities, better ways of doing business in Ghana and across Africa, better ways of paying bills and transacting. You also enjoy better rewards anytime you pay with your EcoBank Visa card online or on a point of sale terminal. So next time you want to top up on fuel, dine with family and friends, shop virtually or in shop, remember to pay with your EcoBank Visa card. You may just get cool gifts from EcoBank, such as data bundles, Samsung tablets, cool discounts, or get vouchers for shopping. Don't miss out on these better rewards. If you don't have an EcoBank Visa card, get one today at any EcoBank branch or experience a better way of life. Terms and conditions apply. Call 0800 003 for details. EcoBank, Pan-African Bank. And Provident Insurance welcomes you to a new year. Remember to insure your vehicle or renew your existing motor insurance policy from now till the 31st of March and get free gifts. And get gifts such as fuel coupons and several other branded Provident souvenirs. Rush for your insurance cover now. Terms and conditions apply. And remember, with Provident, man, you are covered. And it means it's now time for Food for Thought, brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. Uncle, good morning.
How about you, sir?
Uncle.
I like your colors this morning. They look good on you.
Thank you.
And let's friend to know that if we continue going with our soccer the way we are doing, even Pep will not achieve any results here.
Friend, did you hear that if we continue going the way we are going with our football, even Pep will not achieve any different results?
No, Uncle Ebo is spot on.
Okay.
It's spot on. Coaching is not the only problem.
Okay.
So, for sure.
I am happy you know.
So, if structures were different, Maxwell Kuredu could do a good job. So, you see?
Yeah. Yes. He could. And why not? And at any rate, if we are going to pay so much dollars for all these foreigners to come and take us only to the group stages, then we may as well do with any coach. I mean, if we are going to pay dollars, so much dollars, and go to tournaments and have no win, then even me, can coach the team.
That is what I was about to say. Uncle Ebo White can take the team to the AFCON and not win a game.
Yes, and come
as for now, you don't need to be paid dollars for it.
But even that one, Uncle Ebo will win a game. Because all of us can see. That one we cannot see. Because we can see that some players are not doing well. And yet our coaches refuse to see. Whether they don't see or they refuse to see is another matter. Anyway.
Well, how was your weekend?
Oh, it was good. It was a good one.
All right. I had a busy weekend, but I had so much fulfillment from the things I had to do this weekend.
Oh, okay. Preparing for
It's wonderful to be alive. It's wonderful to be doing the kind of things I am permitted to do.
Great.
So I am so grateful.
Sure.
All right. This morning I bring you a letter. I will say you will love this letter. Dear nephew, you have always asked me for apo on love, relationships, and marriage. You began asking even before you married last year, but I did not respond to your requests because I felt there were too many counselors around you and Anna Rose, your beloved. You had your pastor and his wife and the whole team of counselors from your church, and she also had her pastor and his wife and her aunties all making inputs into your marriage. Now, usually, in the multitude of counselors is safety, but that is the case only when the counselors are on the same page. Otherwise, confusion ensues. So I did not want to add to the confusion. Besides, I am a great believer in post-marital counseling. So, with 1 year of marriage under your belt, I think this is a good time to speak into your marriage. Please feel free to share the contents of this letter with your darling Anna Rose. I'm going to send you a series of letters. In each letter, I will share with you my perspectives on love and marriage based on my own experiences and insights I have gleaned from over 30 years of marriage counseling. In this maiden letter, I want to begin with what I call the unpleasant truth about marriage. In 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 28b, the Apostle Paul writes, quote, "But those who marry will face many troubles in this world," end of quote. My dear nephew, if you went into marriage expecting it to be easy, then I'm sorry you are in for a nasty shock. Yes, the honeymoon period, which is the period you find yourself in now, can be great, but those days pass very quickly. Please understand that I am not trying to make you regret marrying. I'm only trying to prepare you for what is ahead of you and Anna Rose. Two adults from different backgrounds with different aspirations binding themselves together for life is bound to be difficult. Then you consider the huge differences between men and women, and it is a miracle that any marriage works at all. Think of it. Even two adult siblings living in the same room is not easy. And these are two people from the same mother and father. Now take marriage, where the two people concerned are from different parents, different backgrounds, different upbringing, and so on. And you think it will be easy? Even the way you squeeze toothpaste out of the tube can be a source of irritation for your wife, who may be used to squeezing the paste differently. You may be used to squeezing it from the bottom, and she may be used to squeezing it from the middle. And this minor difference can spark World War III between the two of you. How long she spends in the bathroom could annoy you, but the condition in which you leave the bathroom could also upset her no end. The way the two of you communicate could be another source of irritation and even resentment. For instance, if you arrived home and she asked you how your day went, you would give her only the highlights of the day. Even then, she would have to be persistent to get those highlights from you. If she asked you, "Darling, how was your day?" your answer is likely to be fine. And for you, that would be an exhaustive and comprehensive answer. But for her, it will be you cutting her off. On the other hand, if you ask her how her day went, she would want to answer the question in exquisite detail, beginning from the traffic situation and how warm the weather is these days. And that would only be she clearing her throat. Of course, the man in you will be boiling and wanting her to be as brief as possible. But if she detects your impatience, trust me, she will take it as rejection, or you not being concerned about her, and that will be a declaration of war. Now, these are very minor things, and initially, you may close your eyes to them. But with time, the irritation and resentment will build up and would explode at a time neither of you expected. Now, before you say that if marriage is this difficult, then it is better not to marry, let me take you to an obscure verse in the book of Proverbs in the Bible. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 4 reads, quote, "Where there are no oxen, the manger is empty, but from the strength of an oxen come abundant harvest." End of quote. Where there are no oxen, the manger is empty, but from the strength of an oxen come abundant harvest. At one level, what this verse is saying is that if you, or Anna Rose for that matter, have no oxen, you don't have any work to do in the manger because it is empty. But if you have oxen, you have feeding to do, you have dung to clean, and so on. It is hard and unpleasant work to keep an oxen. So the temptation is to say you are better off with no oxen. But it is the strength of the oxen that gives abundant harvest. No oxen, no headaches, but no abundant harvest. You have oxen, you have palaver of keeping the manger clean, but you also have abundant harvest. In this case, the analogy of the oxen applies to both the man and the woman. If a girl is single, she doesn't have the issues associated with living with her husband. But in being spared the issues and irritations of living with her husband, she also misses out on the blessings and joys of being with a man. In the same way, a bachelor is spared the issues of living with a wife, but he also loses out on the joys and excitements and blessings of living with a wife. The point I'm trying to make in this maiden letter to you, my dear nephew, is that you and Anna Rose need to understand the nature of the institution of marriage so you can make it work for you and not against you. Are the troubles of marriage worth it? Answer: it depends on the person you married. For you, my dear nephew, it depends on what kind of wife Anna Rose turns out to be for you. And for Anna Rose, it depends on what kind of husband you turn out to be for her. And I hope that every day you have reason to say Anna Rose is worth it. And she would also have reason to say you are worth it. In subsequent letters, I will show you how you can ensure that Anna Rose will say that you are more than worth it, worth all the inevitable troubles marriage brings. All the best to you and your darling Anna Rose. I pray that the two of you win in marriage. And this is from your uncle, Ebo. And I will say, that is my presentation for this morning.
Thank you very much, Uncle. I like it. We'll look forward to the next letters.
Yes, I am. The whole of February, I have declared it the month of love, and so we'll be talking about love this month. Unless something comes on the scene, on the podcast scene, that is that cannot be ignored. But otherwise, we are talking about love this month, and also going to delight our patrons on Valentine's Day with Unhappy Wives, Confused Husbands at the National Theatre.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Uncle White, for joining us with Food for Thought, brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. Time now for the Joy Business Minute, brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG. We stand with you, and Anointed Electricals, the generator experts.
Hello and welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, and Anointed Electricals, your generator experts. Interest rates fell for the 5th consecutive week on the yield curve. That's according to results of Treasury bills auctioned by the Bank of Ghana. This is expected to help reduce marginally the cost of government's domestic debt. The Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research is making a strong case for the government to address challenges affecting Ghana's cocoa sector. This comes on the back of the 2024 Economist Intelligence Unit Commodities Outlook, which indicates that the price of cocoa will go up. And the National Petroleum Authority has revealed that more oil marketing companies are expected to adjust upwards fuel prices from today. It is coming after the 3 major OMCs took the lead to review prices at the pumps. There are reports that only a few companies will increase prices. That's all for the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, and Anointed Electricals, your generator experts.
All right, so welcome back. And are you a salaried worker and need a financial support before your next paycheck? You need funds to solve urgent financial needs. Access up to 400,000 Ghana cedis with CBG salary-backed loan products at competitive interest rates. Acquire that appliance you've been dreaming about, settle your overdue rent, complete that project at home, and do more with our salary-backed loans. Visit any of our 114 branches nationwide and explore a variety of salary-backed loan products, including salary advance, payday loan, Dream Life personal overdraft, controller, and PERSA term loans. All with flexible repayment conditions. For further inquiries, contact us on 0302-216-000. Email us talk to us at cbg.com.gh or visit any of our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Terms and conditions apply. CBG, we stand with you. And Anointed Electrical Engineering Services Limited is into the sales of ultra-silent generators from 5 kVA to 2,500 kVA, and we undertake maintenance and repairs of all kinds of diesel generators. We also stock genuine spare parts of all kinds for various generators and also do generator rentals in East Legon. You can locate us on Lagos Avenue opposite Tomric Hotel, in Tema on Tema General Hospital Road, Community 9, just after the overhead, and at Odoko, where we have our head office, number 77 Anointed House off the Odoko Malam Road, Accra, with branches nationwide. Anointed, the generator expert. Contact us on our hotline 0243 480 334. Roverman Productions, in partnership with the National Theatre and Joy FM, presents a Valentine's Day's special showing of Uncle Ibo White's amazing classic, Unhappy Wives, Confused Husbands. Now, on the 40th wedding anniversary of Mr. and Mrs. Efriye, their 3 adult children return home with various forms of palaver. As the children struggle to come to terms with their marital problems against their parents' successful and long-lasting marriage, certain concerns are raised. Will the anniversary come off as planned, or will it go up in flames as the married children go at their spouses with bitterness and anger? Unhappy Wives, Confused Husbands is a story on marriage and relationship told in a hilarious and unforgettable manner. Unhappy Wives, Confused Husbands shows on Valentine's Day, that's 14th of February, at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. at the National Theatre. Rate is 200 cedis per single ticket and 300 cedis for couples. Buy tickets only via short code *365 *535# on all networks. Join the fun in an amazing Valentine's night event at the National Theatre. Buy your tickets now. Sponsored by Ebony Condom, supported by La Palm Beach Hotel. Roverman Productions, be the difference. And on Big Stories this morning, brought to us by Vodafone, Further Together, and Latest Form, your partner for life. Our focus is on our local government system, and our focus is on the decentralization process that we've been pretending to run for God knows how long. Now, I mean, one of the things that we would always remember is the fact that at the heart of it, Kwame Nahoi, Minister of Local Government, now after he left government, he wrote a book where he talked about our local government system, or our Ghana practicing a central government supply-driven decentralization. Think about it for a minute. So why would the president, Friday, just decide that he's changing MMDCEs? Now, legally, he's not wrong. But the question, why don't we just want the people to have a say in who represents them? Why don't we want the people to elect those that are supposed to be in charge of their development? Should that be difficult? Can't we just elect these persons on non-partisan basis? Which would then mean we don't have to go through a referendum? Stay with us right here on the Super Morning Show. But of course, if you live in the areas whose MMDC has been changed, what do you make of the change? Do you know who's taking over? What's your assessment of the performance of the sacked or changed DCE? Join us on X, use the hashtag JoySMS, but you can also join us on WhatsApp 055-111-11997. Now, looking for the best value data and voice offers, look no further, as Vodafone has unbeatable deals made just for you. To enjoy these amazing Vodafone offers, just dial *530# and get on to any of the Vodafone Made For Me bundles for as little as 1 Ghana cedi. Vodafone Made For Me has just got what you need. This offer is specially made for you. Simply dial *530# or visit my Vodafone app to subscribe. Vodafone, Further Together. And Premium Motors Limited wants to make this February the most memorable one. Yes, buy a Renault Colliers and let us whisk you away to the enchanting city of Dubai with your partner within the month of love. This exclusive offer is valid only for the month of February, so do not miss out on the opportunity to make this Valentine unforgettable. Visit Premium Motors Limited today, test drive the Renault Colliers and make that decision, or call 0307 07 9977 or 0307 08 0010. Renault Colliers, where luxury meets intimacy. This vehicle is distributed by Premium Motors Limited. Terms and conditions apply. So every day we eat food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. Now, brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal Toothpaste is what you should do. Pepsodent Charcoal is made of a fine blend of fluoride with a unique combination of natural charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc to whiten your teeth, strengthen them, and remove bad odor from your mouth. Pepsodent Charcoal White gently polishes away tooth stains and naturally restores your bright smile For our herbal lovers, try Pepsodent Herbal Toothpaste, which is infused with a unique blend of green tea and herbal extracts formulated to repair and protect your gums while giving an all-round cooling sensation. Pepsodent Herbal releases, repairs, and protects gum tissues while giving you strong teeth. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been educating Ghanaians on how to brush their teeth. For 25 years, Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association, and Pepsodent gives you the opportunity to talk to a dentist for free. Call toll-free 0800 16 1000 to talk to a dentist free. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you. Call our customer care center on toll-free 0800 2030. Pepsodent, every smile matters. This is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year. Only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfit.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data, or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN Just For You. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique Just For You package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
Have you ever thought of the one that makes you complete? An escape from the clutches of interest charges. With the Standard Chartered Visa debit and credit cards, payments are completed at the speed of light, intertwined with interest-earning accounts. You also get unbelievable rewards every time you swipe. You have access to over 1,200 airport lounges worldwide, high credit limits of up to 100,000 Ghana cedis, and up to 50 days interest-free with our credit cards. You also get to enjoy full multi-trip travel insurance for 90 days. Fees discounted at your feet with our globally partnered merchant points. Bills are always settled, not battled. Get the Standard Chartered debit and credit card now. Call toll-free on 0800 740 100 or 0302 740 100, or reach us via email on feedback.ghana@sc.com. Standard Chartered, here for good.
And where do you think you're going?
To train in the garden.
With my broom?
Mom, it's a javelin.
Oh, really? And that plate?
That's not a plate, it's a discus, Mom. We are training to become winners.
Well, you know you need lots of energy to become winners. So you both better start your day with Twisco before you go anywhere. Besides its great chocolatey taste, Twisco is enriched with Enifort, a blend of energy-boosting vitamins and minerals for little winners.
Thanks, Mom.
Got to keep my little winners in shape. Twisco, power your dreams.
This advert is FDA approved.
Breaking news. Vodafone Ghana is becoming Telecel. Stay tuned.
This Valentine, Roverman Productions in partnership with National Theatre and Joy FM presents an Uncle-Boy classic and happy wives confuse husbands.
So tell me, when is my birthday?
You said?
When is my birthday? Loving husband.
Your birthday?
Yes.
The 30th. You see, I told you, I remember. God, you know, go shame us down.
Okay, 30th of which month?
It's 30th October.
For your information, my birthday is the 30th of November.
It is the 30th of October.
It is my birthday, and I'm telling you it is November.
And I am your husband, and I'm telling you it is October.
Hey, shame! Shame!
Shows on the 14th of February at the National Theatre. First show, 5 p.m. Second show, 8 p.m. Rate 200 Ghana cedis and 300 Ghana cedis for couples. Buy your tickets via short code *365*535#. Sponsor Ebony Condoms and supported by La Palm Beach Hotel and Decocraft Ghana Limited. Producers of Kibi Chocolate. Roverman Productions. Be the difference.
A bank that supports you. A bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go. Where all your dreams come alive, CBG will make you smile. We will rise with you.
Freshman.
Yeah.
Don't you know Nana has assembled all of us and you are here making calls?
My generator is portable, so I'm calling a renowned Ghanaian company with an excellent track record in the sales and repairs of generator sets in Accra to come and repair for me.
Is it Anointed Electricals?
Yeah.
Anointed Electricals deals in quality and genuine generators with high fuel efficiency. We also rent generators.
They sell quality generators from 10 kVA to 2500 kVA. They have spare parts of other generators and can repair every faulty generator set even if you didn't buy from them.
Look, now we don't have any electrical problem in Accra.
How?
Because Anointed Electricals is right here at East Legon, Lagos Avenue, opposite Tomric Hotel.
And that's why Nana is calling us.
Okay.
Yes. If you want to buy a brand new generator or repair the old one, visit Anointed Electricals. Or if you are within Accra, call our hotline 0246 423 534
or call 0243 480 334. They have qualified and dedicated men on 24-hour after sales service.
Then let's go and listen to Nana. Let's go.
Gosh, after giving you the hint, won't you give me anything?
Anointed, the generator experts.
Coffee in your cup, enjoy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best on Joy.
It's 8:30. And today we are concerned. We are concerned because as a democratic nation, our local governance structure doesn't seem to reflect democratic tenets. We still have mayors or metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives nominated by the president under criteria that is unclear. And we've just had 26 of them replaced by people we don't know for reasons that have not been communicated. We feel left out of processes that affect us directly, and that is definitely not what democracy seeks to achieve. Let's try and understand why it's happening this way and how we can make it better. Our guest, Professor Ransford Jampo, is a professor of political science at the University of Ghana, and Dr. Eric Odro Osai, who is a local governance expert and analyst. Both of them join us over the phone right now. Good morning to you, Prof. and Doc.
Good morning.
If it's all right, Prof. Jampo, I'd love to start with you. The president used to explain to us the reasons behind his appointments. That has long stopped. But looking at the political climate, what is your analysis of the reason for this reshuffle, if you will?
All right, thank you. When this president started and was given the mandate to govern in 2017, the caliber of people he appointed to office, he took time to explain to the good people of Ghana their pedigree, their credentials, their qualifications, and why he thinks they are the right people to be in government with him. Of course, he is not really interested in reshuffles, and so there's been we haven't had much reshuffle, and for us to say that when he was reshuffling or asking them from office, why he did not explain to us. And so I thought that given that the president always would want to explain why he appointed people, he would also at least as a show of courtesy. It's not duty bound. The Constitution does not say he should explain, but as a show of courtesy, he could have evolved a certain convention to explain to the good people of Ghana that look, these local appointees have done X, Y, Z, so would want to replace them. He's not done that, but elsewhere conventions are even powerful than constitutional provisions. That's why Britain operates an unwritten constitution that is largely the coming together of various unwritten conventions that they use. And so I was a bit taken aback when I just heard that the president has just asked some MMDCEs, and then we were completely left out of the equation in terms of knowing what exactly may have happened. But like I said, constitutionally, the president cannot be faulted too much for having done anything wrong. Just that as we are evolving our democracy, it would have been nice for him to have said that they have done X, Y. Now, my own investigation and analysis points to something. If I have looked at all the MMDCs who have been asked, and I have looked also at how they conducted themselves in the lead up to the parliamentary primaries of the MPP. If you recall, the MPP made a rule that if you are sitting MMDC, you are banned from contesting for a parliamentary seat. The rule didn't say that you cannot also campaign in parliamentary primaries. And I see that virtually all of those who have been asked are people who publicly shown or publicly campaigned against the MPs who have been, the parliamentary candidates who have been elected. These MMDCs, you can see that virtually, I'm not saying all of them, but virtually all of them actively and openly did things openly against those parliamentary candidates who have been elected on the party's ticket to be able to contest the 2024 parliamentary elections. Now, politically, I am thinking that the president is of the view that if I don't do something and these guys who actively campaigned against the parliamentary candidates who have won are kept in office, then they would work to sabotage or undermine the campaign of the parliamentary candidates. In that case, then the party will lose out in parliament in the 2024 parliamentary elections. And so, why don't I get them out so that the parliamentary candidates would have their peace of mind to campaign, so that in the 2024 parliamentary elections, the party will do better. I'm thinking that this may be the reason, and the president himself has not spoken about this, but if I look at it politically, that is one of the plausible explanation that can come out. But the question then I ask myself is, should an MP who is serving well the interests of his people at the various, at the locality, at the municipality, at the district, at the metropolitan area, should that MP be sacked simply because he campaigned against a parliamentary aspirant who has won? If he's doing very well in a manner that improves the lot of the local people, should he be kicked out simply because he did not see eye to eye with someone who may have been elected as the parliamentary candidate on the ticket of the MPP? I think the answer is for all of us to brainstorm and to give. But the point is because of some of these challenges, that's how come some of us, right from the one, have argued for the direct elections of metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives, so that they will be insulated from some of these practices. What we are saying essentially is that the people at the grassroots are very wise in determining who must lead them at the national level. But when it comes to determining who must lead them at the local level, they are suddenly ignorant and they don't know who would be able to better serve their interests. And so that decision should be made by the president. I think this is absolutely absurd politically. And so may this reintroduce the call for MMDCs to be directly elected by the local people, so that we can insulate them, particularly those who are doing well, from some of these practices of the executive president. So I'm saying that we do not know why this thing has happened, but again, the constitution does not force the president to explain why he is taking this decision, and so you cannot really fault him. But at the same time, my own analysis show that these MMDCs were people who actively campaigned against the parliamentary aspirants who have won. And so maybe the intervention is to ensure that these MMDCs do not go out of their way to frustrate these MPs, parliamentary aspirants. They don't go on their way to frustrate them. If they do, then it means it is the party that will bleed in the parliamentary elections of 2024. And so then politically, that may be the explanation, or that may be the way the president may want to go, just to be able to ensure that the parliamentary fortunes of his parties are in a way kept, intact in the next election. But I'm asking myself, how about the MMDC who are serving very well the interest of his people? Will it be wise for us to just kick him out simply because he actively campaigned. He exercised his democratic freedom of choice by campaigning against an MP aspirant who has been elected. I think it's something that we all have to brainstorm and proffer a response to. I think preliminary comments, these are the preliminary comments I can make. And if you have to come back to me, I'm ready. I'm on standby.
Right. Thanks, Prof. Dr. Odrosai, I mean, the president has sacked 26 of the 261 MMDCEs. Do we have an objective way of assessing the performance of these MMDCs to determine whether those who have been, removed deserved to be sacked, and whether those who were not sacked deserve to stay?
All right, thank you very much. And let me say good morning to your listeners, and good morning to my friend and brother, Professor Ransford Jampo, on the other line. Let me say that the reading I have with the nomination and then the appointment letter that came out, I noticed that the president has revoked the appointment of 24 MMDCEs, but appointed 26. My understanding is that the additional 2 were 2 from Chifu Himan Lower Dentra and Adaklu assemblies. These MMDCEs have resigned on their own.
Right.
So what it means is that the sacking is for only 24.
Understood.
Now, whether or not there is an objective way of assessing the performance of MMDCEs, let me say that under Article 243 of our 1992 Constitution, the chief executives are not representative of the president. I always say that people must understand that the chief executives, though appointed by the president, but under Article 243, Clause 2C, they are the chief representative of the central government. They don't represent the president. They represent the central government. So the central government work is there. And you will realize that the letter the president wrote, he attentioned the local government minister, who is then expected to do further communication to these MMDCs. Let me come to the objective way of assessing them. What I know is that there is what we call a district assembly performance assessment tool that is used to assess the district assemblies on an annual basis. A number of indicators goes into this assessment. We have the governance, we have financial management, we have leadership, we have the assembly. And the entire assembly management system is assessed through the district assembly assessment to what we call DPAT. There is a second assessment that is normally undertaken by the Ministry of Local Government. They have a dashboard on which these local government leaders, that is the MMDCs, upload their performance according to agreed indicators on the dashboard. I am also aware that last year, the Internal Audit Agency worked with the Center for Local Governance Advocacy to publish an MMDA Public Financial Management Performance League Table. Though this has not been mainstreamed into the system to have MMDAs assessed according to the way they manage their finances, I want to believe that these are, or this is part of the way we assess MMDAs by way of performance. So my response is, yes, I think there is an objective way of assessing MMDCEs. But my challenge here is that why are we not allowed to elect our local leaders? And this is where I would agree with Professor Jampo, that look, the last leg of our local democracy is to allow citizens to elect their MMDCEs, especially when the MMDCEs are supposed to be chief representative of central government at the local government level. 2, you realize that under Article 243, the president appoints these chief executives, but they cannot assume office unless they have been approved by 2/3 majority of the members of the assembly. So they go through nomination by president, approved by the assembly, and then they are appointed. How come that when we are revoking the appointment, these tutors do not have a say in the revocation? These are the gray areas in our law I think we should resolve if we really want to see the democracy we are enjoying at the national level replicated properly at the local government level. As at now, I want to believe that local democracy is suffering because we don't give citizens the opportunity to elect chief representatives of central government in the persons of MMDCEs.
Now, Dr. Odrosai, you were technical advisor when we wanted to elect MMDCs. You were technical advisor to the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development at the time. I want to understand something. So, I mean, publicly we all knew that the president talked about a lack of consensus because he wanted partisan election of MMDCEs. You have been at the forefront of this for a very long time. Help us understand what the people want, what would be in the best interest of the people when it comes to electing these MMDCEs. Okay.
First, what the people want. When we went around and taught the whole country, majority of citizens want their MMDCEs directly elected.
Okay.
Now, whether to elect them on partisan basis or not is another matter. Because as for citizens, they want their MMDCEs elected. But the truth of the matter is that because if we elect them on partisan basis, it will require a referendum, and there is no consensus on the referendum. That issue was dropped. But I must say that we can amend Article 243 of the Constitution because it is not entrenched. You require a certain percentage of parliamentarians to approve it. So we can start with the process of electing them on non-partisan basis. But here is the challenge. With the assembly member election, we have all said and indicated in law that it should be on non-partisan basis. But we all saw what happened last year when people had their political party cards coming out clearly, where we had political parties organizing primaries to put up candidates for a local government election, which is supposed to be non-partisan. What it then means is that there is a call for politicization of local level elections. If you transfer that argument to the election of MMDCEs, then it seems to me that citizens want their MMDCEs elected on partisan basis. But the challenge is this one. To elect them on partisan basis, you need a political party to lead the process, and you need parliament to have a consensus. It is the political parties who benefit or loses if we elect them on partisan basis. If you have a party in power who thinks that, look, if I elect them on partisan basis, majority of the MMDCEs can be won by a certain political party, whether in opposition or not. So, for instance, let's assume that the NPP is in power now. If we decide to elect MMDCEs on partisan basis, NPP can win majority of the MMDCE seats in the Ashanti region. NDC can win majority in the Volta region. That will introduce checks and balances in the system. And I tell you, this is what the political party do not want. Because the current arrangement helps them. They are able to, as soon as they win elections, 261 jobs are available for their followers. So they don't want to lose it. And this is where I commend the sitting president for making that bold decision to say that I'm prepared to hand over this power so that we elect them on partisan basis. That is not helping. So I think that, look, citizens, we have to rise up to the occasion. It is the political parties who benefit if we don't elect them on partisan basis. And it is our democracy that suffers. Because if we can elect the president on partisan basis, MPs on partisan basis, why can't we elect the chief executive who is closer to us, who is to bring development to us, so we hold him accountable? So every 4 years, he comes back to us to secure our vote, and then we ask him questions. What have you been able to do when we gave you the mandate? But if we are not able to do that and we leave it in the hands of the executive, this is what will happen. That is why we see that development at the local level is suffering, but development at the national level somewhat is progressing.
Dr. Odrosai, before I bring in Prof. Jampo, you're saying that majority of Ghanaians want the election on partisan basis. Is it majority of Ghanaians or majority of politicians? Because I know there are surveys by CDD which confirm that nearly 80% of Ghanaians were kicking against electing them on partisan basis. So is it not the political class, I mean the members of the political parties that wanted partisan?
All right.
What did the people want?
Well, the survey we conducted showed that before, in 2020, when I was leading this campaign to have MMDCEs elected, after the president directed that it should be done, is that, yes, citizens want their MMDCEs elected. That is point one. Whether to elect them on partisan basis or not, it is left with the political parties and parliament to go about it. And you realize that was the point we got to, and there was no consensus from the two major political parties to have the process progressed. So I am of the view that, as for the citizens, they want the MMDCEs elected, whether partisan or non-partisan. But the challenge now is whether to elect it on political party basis or not. And the decision rests with the two major political parties to reach a consensus and let us have it. But from where I sit as a governance person, I think that for democratic consistency, once we elect president on partisan basis and we elect MPs on partisan basis, we should have a consistent way of electing our local leaders on partisan basis. Not only MMDCEs, but also assembly members. And once we are able to do that, let us also abolish the 30% government appointee system so that we don't have politicians there. We have people who have been directly elected and who are accountable to the people. As at now, most of the people in the local government may not be directly accountable to the people, except for the assembly members. But some of them too, come in under the color of certain political parties, though illegal. But that is what is happening. So if that is what we want, why don't we translate it into law so we'll be able to save the situation?
Prof. Jampo, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, do you think that if we proceed to elect MMDCs on non-partisan basis, it will somehow undermine the process? Are there downsides to doing it on a non-partisan basis?
Why non-partisan basis? If we do partisan elections at the local level, why are we calling for the kind of election that takes away partisan politics?
Well, the CDD surveys suggest that that's what people want.
Elections. I think that if we are calling for direct elections of MMDCs, we should go the full hog. The local people are political animals too. And we cannot be tickling ourselves and laughing. We cannot be behaving like ostriches. We had people, top politicians, openly saying that, look, I'm going to win. We're going to win more seats, for our party in the district level elections. Just when we're assembly members election, we had so many top politicians who should know better openly now canvassing or campaigning for the assemblymen and women on partisan basis. And before then, right from when it was introduced, politicians found their way of infiltrating the conduct of such elections, and the people themselves know. And so you cannot put a superstructure of partisan elections at the national level on an local infrastructure that is based on sand, that is based on an arrangement or a belief that the conduct of such elections are non-partisan, knowing very well that partisanship or politicians would infiltrate, and the people themselves who campaign and go through such elections are themselves partisan politicians. So the point is that let's go the full hog, and that's how I also I was part of the Institute for Democratic Governance team as a research fellow then, and at that place we pushed for direct elections of MMDCEs on partisan basis, and I was excited that the President of the Republic of Ghana, Akufo-Addo, took on board that call, and wanted to pursue it. It's just that we couldn't have consensus, and I thought that was hypocrisy on the part of the political elite, saying that behaving behind the scenes in a manner that shows that they actively play a role in the local election process, and yet when it came to the crunch, when it came to the real decision making, they behaved or they conducted themselves in a manner that gave the impression that should the idea be tabled before them, we were going to shoot against it. It was a purely partisan move, and I thought that the president, not wanting to be humiliated, decided to withdraw that process. But I think that we have come of age. Let there be direct elections of MMDCs and also on partisan basis, because I'm privy to research findings that show that is what Ghanaians prefer.
Are these research findings different from and are they contradicting the CDD surveys?
I've not read the CDD survey, but as of the time we were pushing for direct elections of MMDCs about 3-4 years ago, the prevailing wisdom on the part of from the citizenry is that the way to go was to have that election conducted on partisan basis,
right?
Because in the national elections, we conduct national elections on partisan basis, and so there's no point in conducting national elections on partisan basis and saying that when you get to the local grassroots, we should do something different.
I stand to be corrected, but is that not what happens in, for example, the United States? When they are electing their mayors or their attorney generals or district attorneys and so forth, and circuit judges and so forth, it's not on partisan basis. Even though their governors and governors tend to be elected on partisan basis.
No, I think that I disagree. I mean, when you go there are people who would clearly show they are colors. We are Republicans, we are Democrats, and that is what drives the conduct of their elections.
Are you not concerned that if we go that way in Ghana, we might end up stifling independent candidates at local level who might want to get involved in local politics without necessarily joining a party?
Well, our constitution does not ban independent candidates from contesting elections. It's just that we are yet to have a truly independent candidate who has the pedigree to put himself out there for the conduct of such elections. I want to believe that you, the host interviewing me, given your pedigree and what you know, if you put out yourself there as an independent candidate contesting such elections, if people believe that you have what it takes to serve you, to serve their interests, they will vote for you regardless of the party that you come from. And so
but Prof, if you are right,
oftentimes,
if you are right that actually people prefer to vote on partisan basis, then an independent stands no chance.
No, please. People generally prefer to vote on partisan basis, but I'm saying that doesn't also mean that the people are so dumb to the point that if they see who can really champion their interest at the grassroots, they would shoot against that person. It's just that over the years, especially at the national level, at the grassroots, we have not seen much. But at national level, the independent candidates who have come in so far have not been people of that kind of pedigree who have wielded what it takes to wield or to sway the mindset of people in their favor. But I know that gradually or sooner than later, we're going to have independent candidates who are going to have what it takes, the pedigree, the needed qualifications and competences to be able to sway voters' mindset about them. Because generally, if you speak to so many people, even though they want to vote on partisan lines, there's a groundswell or you have a critical mass of people who are also tired of partisan politics.
Right. We're talking to Professor Ransford Jampo and Dr. Eric Odrosai. It's all about, local governance and the recent appointment of 26 MMDCEs after 24 of them were sacked and 2 of them resigned. When we come back, we delve deeper into the necessary democratic processes that need to be put in place in order for these positions to be representative enough of the people they are supposed to serve. Let's come back after these messages with more.
Blessing, do you know of any good medical school I can take Kofi to?
Oh, Fifi, is that why you're looking all moody? Then I have some good news for you. The College of Medicine and Allied Sciences, COMAS, Accra, Ghana, is a degree-awarding institution, and they offer Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery using the Graduate Entry Medical Programs, Bachelor of Diagnostic Imaging, and BSc Health Information Management. All these programs are accredited by GTEC. Their bilingual curriculum prepares you to consult in French.
But I'm worried about admissions.
Admissions are ongoing. Contact us on Facebook or on Instagram at info.comas or call us on 0208-456-556 or send them an email info@comas.edu.gh. COMAS, the citadel of a holistic professional medical education.
Medishie, nana delay nie. Enkomo wo bi wo ho. Enna menyonko se wa besra me na ne sida shiremu osresre. Ne bag mu aye ma sika chakpo. Enam se wa no jama wo sponsor yi na abahye. O se ntesa eye fido. Enam se app na o se an. Enam se enya dwumakuo na mehu o advert o mo ka better score bigger loans no. O kire mu se no kre. Ye de hu dom fido. Ya build ye fido score. Na afei yetimi enya sika entempara. Eno ane se ye dial *998*9#. Na ya download the app no. Fido, endless opportunities.
Fido. Fido get alone.
What's so tasty, creamy, crunchy, makes you happy when it's near? Munchie, munchie, oh munchie, shortcake biscuits.
Enjoy the unbeatable taste of Munchie Milk Shortcake biscuits, serving you original milky richness for 20 years. Munchie, a rich ankasa. This advert is FDA approved.
Media Sambisanda mo. Eti emrotia no. Mumu hwan pa na tumi hwe na mo bodom pe mo man yakono.
Eye kwabna.
Na mumu hwan so na tumi tasmale me maye ni nyina de.
Eye kojo.
Enu kro. Kobre tumi hwe na bodom pe mo sense wo yusu accident eba. Aye den oban ne do braye. Bo si echi na mo hoban na sem ma na hoode ne. Sa ani na kudwo nso yusu accident chako. Na eno ne de e ma wo se wo ye krejen fita. Na watimi asiri bedwo ma na feel you.
Ey kojo.
Yeah. Pepsodent Heba and a Pepsodent Charcoal. Afedie. Yakono natural.
FDIJ Jadion Katuyatu.
Do you want to study in India? Thai Global is bringing directors of India's leading universities and colleges to facilitate your admission to pursue first degree, master's or PhD programs. 8th of February, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Kumasi, Lancaster Hotel, and in Accra, 9th of February 2024 at La Palm Royal Beach Hotel from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. There will be lots of scholarship opportunities. Call 0532 546478 or 0200 565626.
This Valentine's Day, take the love road as the King of Hearts, Kwabna and the Queen of Love and Soul, Becca, rock it live in a never-before stage experience collabo. It's the Vitamilk Love Night. The most romantic night of the year is here and you must be there. Get a ticket now at a cool 300 Ghana cedis single or 500 Ghana cedis double at kbkblive.com or dial *714*700#. Need an exclusive experience? Call 0243 528 412 or 0247 297 409 for table reservations for VIP or for VVIP. It's Kwabna and Becca live at the Vitamilk Love Night with superstar appearances by your favorite acts. Supported by Joy FM, produced by Image Bureau, and proudly brought to you by Vitamilk.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
On the Super Morning Show. Today we're talking about the MMDCEs who have been sacked and those who have been brought in to replace them. And of course, trying to figure out where democracy fits in all this. Our guests, Professor Ransford Jampo and Dr. Eric Udru-Osai. More from them in a moment. But first, thanks for all of your text messages. On the Super Morning Show, they are brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality.
So, you know, we all have those days when you're low on everything, energy, time, cash, and even airtime and data. Well, that's why MTN Extra Time is an airtime and data advanced service that allows you to make calls or browse the internet. Even when you have an insufficient balance, all you need to do is dial star 506 hash. Yes, star 506 hash. Go through the prompts and select the amount of airtime or data that you need. It's more than simple. Doing your favorite things on MTN means you don't get interrupted, even when you're low on airtime or data. Please remember all terms and conditions apply.
They do indeed. All right, now Safari Valley Eco Park opens its arms and gates and doors to welcome you to enjoy the harmonious cohabitation of forest, water, humans, and wildlife. I'm talking zebra, sable antelope, llama, wallaby, fallow deer, Patagonian mara, and so many other species. Come and enjoy all of this from a starting price of 250 Ghana cedis, and it's free for children who are 6 years or younger. Now, it's only an hour from Accra and they are open from 6 a.m. every day until 8 p.m. So go visit Safari Valley Eco Park with your friends and family today for the thrill of a lifetime. For more information, go to safarivalleyresort.com, check out Safari Valley on Instagram or call 059-691-4394. Right, let's get back to our conversation. Professor Ransford Jampo is a professor of political science at the University of Ghana, and Dr. Eric Udru-Osai is a local governance expert and analyst.
So, I mean, let's get back and let me start off with you, Dr. Eric Udru-Osai, since you've also talked about, we can go ahead, let's have the elections, on partisan basis. There shouldn't be a problem. But a lot of Ghanaians have asked this question, and I know you would have a say. Dr. Udru-Osai, are you happy with how partisan elections, particularly primaries in the political parties, are run?
As a Ghanaian, I will not be happy with what I hear as far as partisan primaries are concerned.
Okay.
This act may, because of the profession, it cascades from top down. So we have come to live with it. We would have to put in place a medium to long-term strategy to demonetize the partisan elections we see in this country. But since we have not gotten there, and what we have now is partisan level national elections, that is why we are advocating for a partisan local government elections. Before you went on break, I think your colleague asked Dr. Jampo, Professor Jampo, whether or not if we introduce partisanship into local level elections, it will not affect independent candidates participating. I must say that under our laws, independent candidates are not barred from contesting even national level elections, whether parliamentary elections or presidential elections.
Sure.
Rather, it will deepen local democracy, and then it will also give us the opportunity to grow the smaller political parties who would otherwise never or have the opportunity of even electing an MP or having a presidential candidate to implement some of the brilliant ideas they have. I always say,
but Doc, how do you work that out, Doc? If that is not happening on the national level, why do you think it will happen on the local level?
I'm getting there, please. You see, when you look at some of the smaller political parties, I always use Commander Edna Eguafu as an example. PPP, they always have some brilliant ideas in their manifesto, but because they are not able to get the opportunity to be elected as a president, they are not able to implement it. But I bet you, if we politicize the local level elections and we allow chief executive to be elected on partisan basis, and PPP put up a candidate at the Commander Edna Eguafu Municipal Assembly, they would be able to win that seat. That chief executive would have the opportunity.
But Doc, they've not won it in a parliamentary election. But let me just get to this point. You have just said you're not happy with the reports you hear when it comes to political party primaries. Now, if you were to elect MMDCs on partisan basis, they still will have to go through these primaries. One, wouldn't you hear the same report? Two, wouldn't these people now be committed and be accountable to their political parties, as we have seen members of parliament today even having to lose their seats just because they dare to challenge political parties?
Okay, the difference here is that once you are a chief executive and you are elected on partisan basis, though you come to the citizens to appeal for their votes, you would want to deliver on their mandate so that in the next 4 years, when you come back to them, they will vote for you. Remember, though you will be put there on a political party's ticket, but you need votes of the majority of the people.
And your party can decide not to send you back for re-election.
Yeah, your party can decide not to send you back for re-election, but there is also an opportunity for you to go independent. You see, what I'm driving at is, if the thing is not good at the national level, then we should abolish it. But insofar as we maintain it at the national level, I think the local governments or the local people also deserve same. Until such a point that we are able to disband it at the national level, then we can be bold enough to say that it is not good for the local government level.
Let me bring in Professor Jampo. Professor Jampo, we have complained about monetization in our politics. We have an opportunity to have non-partisan election at the district level, devoid of all the acrimony and monetization that we see in political party primary, and we want to change it and go for what we all say is bad?
There are democratic solutions to the monetization in the conduct of our elections. Nobody is pleased with the current practice that brings about the election of candidates who have legitimacy deficit. They come out because they were able to pay money. Last time I said I have no respect for any of the parliamentary candidates who have emerged from their parliamentary primaries. I have no respect for them because they won simply because they were able to pay more money. And that is it. It is undemocratic. Now, the solution to it is not to say in the conduct of other partisan elections, no, there shouldn't be conduct of partisan elections at the local level. That's not the solution. The constitution says we are multi-party democracy. And because of that, the conduct of our election is supposed to be partisan. And so if you are looking for the solution to the monetization of our electoral processes, we've said it time and again, one best democratic solution is public funding of political parties. And if you want me to veer into that, I can say a lot about how public funding of political parties will serve as ultimately a solution to the monetization, of our electoral processes. When we met with the political parties way back in 2007, 2008, and prepared a draft public funding of political parties bill, in the draft, one of the provisions was that there was a ceiling of expenditure beyond which, if you go, you are disqualified as a candidate contesting for any election. It set a ceiling. And so if you fall, you run your campaign within that ceiling, afterwards you are reimbursed with the monies that you have spent. And so it would then check people from spending, and overly spending. And there are mechanisms that were instituted or are still instituted in that draft bill to check the expenditure pattern of politicians who are seeking for elections. And so there are so many interventions that will check monetization of our elections. Part of the intervention has got to do with you and I openly naming and shaming. You and I using the console in front of us to speak against some of these things. We must say it. When I was at the IEA, one of our cliches that we used to tout to be able to bring about change in public policy is for us to say it over and again until you get the desired effect. And so it is also a democratic intervention for you and I to openly critique and to criticize and to speak against it over and over again with a view to exposing it, with a view to sensitizing Ghanaians and the voting public about how they sell their birthright, how they sell their dividends that are expected, they accept being bribed to sell their birthright. I think we can do some of these things. So the solution is never to take away partisanship or partisan politics from the conduct of our local government elections. That is not a solution.
Prof. Jampo, you say take away, but actually our constitution already finds wisdom in a non-partisanship, DC.
Unfortunately, the constitution of Ghana is not the Bible. The constitution of Ghana, it is not the Quran.
But it
even
is
the Bible
constitution,
and Quranic injunctions have been subjected to arguments against some of the provisions.
Yeah, but Prof,
that was the reason why in 2010, in 2010, I think 2009, 2010, we did a study at the IEA. We call it the Democratic Consolidation Strategy paper, which sought to audit the gaps in Ghana's democracy and sought to also make proposals for reform. One of the challenges we found was that even though the 1992 Constitution has served us well, nevertheless, it contains provisions that hinder the maturation of our democratization process. And so it must be reviewed. That was what we found. We saw the idea to Professor Mills, and then he started the Constitution review process. Unfortunately, the process has been stalled. But the point is that the Constitution does not contain biblical provisions that must not be questioned. It was crafted by human beings, and it has so many provisions that hinder the maturation of our democratization process. One of such provisions is the fact that they sought to insulate the conduct of local government elections from partisan politics, knowing very well that it is difficult to do that, and people are still doing it.
Yeah, Prof. The only point I was seeking to make was that since the Constitution already provides for non-partisan election of DCEs, it is not correct to say that we are taking away partisanship from the DCE election. We are rather seeking to introduce it. Is that not right?
Well, we are seeking to introduce it, and you are saying the Constitution provides that it shouldn't be there. And I'm saying that the fact that the Constitution provides that it shouldn't be there does not mean we cannot, as thinking society, as thinking human beings, take issues with those constitutional provisions. After all, the constitutional provisions are not biblical injunctions.
Okay. Now, Prof, you talked about ceiling. So you've talked about, a ceiling on funds that you can use. Now, how would that work at the primary level when it comes to political party primary? Help us understand.
Well, it works perfectly well. Look, I went to University of Cape Verde to go observe the conduct of their student elections, not local elections, student elections, and they had a proposal, or they have a law or a bylaw that publicly that funded the activities of contestants in that student election, and they set a ceiling. They told you that yes, you can spend afterwards. The student organization would reimburse you but you cannot go beyond the ceiling. And so they look at the kinds of things you do and quantify it to be able to determine whether you've gone beyond the ceiling or not. I was there. The front runner in that particular election, it's about 7 years ago. The front runner in that particular election was disqualified because they checked and they looked at the billboards that had been mounted, the T-shirts that had been distributed, and other paraphernalia that had been shared, and they could quantify and say that no, you've gone beyond it. And so my point is that in the conduct of parliamentary primaries, we are there. We see the giant billboards. We see the monies that are surreptitiously shared, and sometimes because people are violating the rules with impunity, they come out openly to even say the amount of money they shared. They come out openly to say that I shared TVs and bicycles. You didn't vote for me, and so I'm going to ask you to refund or return those things. We saw people who had televisions customized with their pictures and emblems and symbols. We saw it, and you could just do a simple mathematical calculation of how much each one cost and multiply by the number of delegates that was going to be distributed to, and you have a fair idea of how much one candidate is spending. So, and this, you see, apart from the monies that are given, Nicodemously, that sometimes you don't see, there are sometimes monies that are given with images of contestants embossed on them, and all that. We can do this actual mathematics of some of these things that people do just to solicit votes, and I will be able to have an idea of how much they have spent, and do a comparison with the ceiling that may be set with how much may have been spent, and based on that, we can disqualify people. And
who will be in charge of the disqualification? The political parties?
I'm telling you, the output of our electoral processes now are becoming nauseating. The output of our electoral processes have nothing to do with the expression of popular choice of the people. The output of our electoral processes are now becoming undemocratic. You see people emerging as having been elected, but completely they bought their way into the process. They bought their way into the outcome, of the process. It's simply because they were able to pay more money. But democracy in a developing country like ours must strive on producing candidates who have what it takes to fight to put in place tangible, proactive mechanisms and policy prescriptions that will be able to effectively fight and extricate us from the quagmires of poverty and underdevelopment. Democracy in a developing countries like Ghana, must never have room for people who would just be elected simply because they have enough money to buy their way.
Professor Jampo, do you trust that in this country, Ghana, will be prepared, be it the political parties or whichever body, to disqualify these persons who spend more than the ceiling?
Look, if we want to do it, we'll do it. I remember.
We haven't done it in this country.
Yeah, I remember. Well, it must start from somewhere. That is why you and I continue to exist. That's why maybe God has not killed us, because He believes that if we know the right thing and we want to be pontificating on it, maybe we'll be making the right incursion and we'll be making the right influences in the psyche of people. And so we cannot resign ourselves to fate. We cannot throw our hands in the air in despair. Once upon a time, there was a chair of electoral commission called Salotosei, who wanted to ensure that our electoral processes where our electoral rules were implemented. In so doing, he decided to outlaw certain election machines that are parading themselves as political parties. He was going to do the right thing, just that he didn't get the support of all of us. And so that thing fizzled out. And so if initiatives that are aimed at sanitizing our processes are going to be tabled, are going to be on air, and we are going to all be in support of it, I think we'll be making giant strides in consolidating our democratic gains. We shouldn't resign ourselves in faith, and we shouldn't throw our hands in despair, and we should not be so filled with hopelessness to the point that what is bad is made to be the norm, and then we pander to it. No.
So, Prof, in your view, we must first publicly fund political parties.
Public funding of political parties is something that both political parties have agreed on.
Yes, Prof. So
it was something that was mooted, an idea that was mooted
Prof,
by.
If I may ask my question, so your view is that we must first publicly fund political parties, then second elect MMDCEs.
Yes, we must. If we do not want the monetization of our electoral process,
okay,
one intervention is public funding of political parties. If you read the draft bill, I didn't know we're going to be talking about this.
No. I just wanted to know the order in which we must do it. The order in which it must be done. So first, we must publicly fund them. Then second, we look at electing MMDCs on a partisan basis.
MMDCs should be done on partisan basis. It was the view of the certain president, just that he didn't get the support. I don't think that we should throw our hands in despair. It's something that must be reintroduced or be revisited. It will help our democracy.
Right. Dr. Odrosai, so for you, what is step one?
Thank you very much. For me, I think we can do it concurrently. We can initiate the process to have MMDCs elected on partisan basis, and then also work to nationally fund political parties. But we should not confuse the issues. As soon as we said we are electing MMDCs on partisan basis, what it means is that we are calling for an amendment of Article 248 of the Constitution, which allows political parties to sponsor candidates for elections to local government units. So we should know what we want. It is not about only election of MMDCEs, but what we are calling for is a politicization of local government elections to allow political parties to sponsor candidates to the local government level, the MMDCEs and the assembly members. And what we are calling for again is once this goes through, it will require an amendment of Article 248 and also, I think Article 55 also, which debars political parties from sponsoring candidates. And once that is done, then it should not be limited to only MMDCE. We should also elect assembly members on partisan basis, and then we should also abolish the government appointee system. Previously, the original intention of having government appointee system into the local government, the assemblies, is to make available to the assemblies some skills, competencies, and expertise they ordinarily will not get through an election system. But on hindsight, I think that, look, that whole idea, has not materialized as we expected it. So why don't we abandon it and say that we are amending Article 248 of the Constitution? Political parties can sponsor candidates to local level elections. And then we also amend Article 243 of the Constitution to include chief executive elections. So step one, amend Article 243 to have chief executives elected. Step two, initiate the process to amend the constitutional provisions that debars political parties from sponsoring candidates to local level elections. Point three, amend the relevant laws that also prevent political parties from sponsoring candidates to local level elections. And then you can do that concurrently with an amendment of our relevant political parties laws or election laws to allow for state funding of political parties. Once we go through this, it will help. I am mindful of the referendum requirement because the standard is so high that if you want to amend an entrench provision, you need 40% of the persons entitled to vote in that referendum. And out of the 40%, you need 75% of those 40% to say yes. Then after that, you come to the parliament, and parliament would also require 2/3 majority for that bill to pass. The standard is very high, but I think we are up to the task. If that is what we need to improve local level democracy, to be in tandem with national level democracy we are enjoying today.
Okay, so just to sum up, In order to do things the way you suggest, which is, partisan election of MMDCEs, we'll first need a referendum. We need to amend other parts of the constitution that don't require referendum. We'll need to amend existing laws on, political parties' involvement in local elections.
There's a roadmap, my brother.
Yes, I'm going through. If you permit me.
Okay.
Then we would have to find money to actually publicly fund these elections. On 3 levels: presidential, parliamentary, and MMDCEs. Currently, we have 2 levels, and we can't fund publicly, but we will now have 3. We would have to do all of these in order to elect MMDCs on partisan basis. But if we want to elect them on non-partisan basis, we can pretty much do that immediately, can't we?
Yes, we can. We just have to amend Article 243, and that will require 2/3 majority of Parliament to have that article amended, since it is a non-entrenched provision.
So is it not a quicker way to get democracy, entrenched at the local level?
That will not be a quicker way, because once you amend Article 243, you are going to elect them, but not on partisan basis.
That's
right.
right.
You get the political parties coming in as they have done with the assembly level election.
Okay. Well, I want to say a big thank you to both of you. We certainly had an engaging conversation with Professor Ransford Jampo, who is a professor of political science at the University of Ghana, and Dr. Eric Udrosai, who's a local governance expert and analyst. We appreciate your time, both of you, this morning.
Thank you. All right. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's 9:31. We'll take a break. We're back after these.
You no longer need to travel far to access your funds, send from abroad, or conduct local transfers.
Hi. Did you know that your general health can affect your oral health? Welcome to another episode of Time with the Dentist. My name is Dr. Gwendolyn Amakwe Baiche, and this is proudly sponsored by Pepsodent in partnership with Ghana Dental Association. Certain conditions related to our general health can have erosive effect on our teeth, and I'd like to draw your attention to some of these conditions. But before that, you should know that the stomach is a part of the body where there is high production of acid to aid in digestion. Acid has the ability to remove some of the minerals of our teeth, like calcium, in a process known as demineralization. So any condition that will cause the stomach contents to move into the mouth will cause acid to come into contact with our teeth. The first condition I'd like to talk about is GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, also known as acid reflux. This digestive disease occurs when the acid content of the stomach flows up the esophagus or windpipe and into the mouth at regular intervals, worse after eating or when lying down. So you may feel heartburns or pain in the chest. Conditions that cause frequent vomiting, like pregnancy at certain trimesters, as well as bulimia, where one forces themselves to vomit after binge eating, can cause the acid content of the stomach to come into contact with the teeth, contributing to erosion of the teeth. For those of us who take lemon juice and apple cider vinegar, it's best to do this with a straw to avoid direct contact with the teeth. With alcoholic beverages being acidic, chronic alcoholism can have erosive effect on the teeth. When the outermost layer of our teeth, enamel, is exposed to acid over a long period of time, it begins to wear down, and so you may feel sensitivity or pain with hot or cold fluids. The teeth get weak and gradually break down. You may develop cavities as well as discoloration of the teeth over time. If you experience any of these conditions I've mentioned earlier, consult a physician. Saliva keeps the tissues of our mouth moist and comfortable for eating and talking. It helps in digestion of food and also neutralizes any acidity in the mouth. There are many causes of bad breath, some of which include not brushing your teeth and flossing properly twice a day, cavities in your teeth that can pack food, gum diseases, eating spicy foods regularly, including garlic and onions, smoking, and chronic alcoholism. Erosion of your teeth can cause you to require extensive dental treatment or even lose your teeth. Visit a dentist for more advice on how to prevent your teeth from wearing away. Remember to floss and brush your teeth twice a day with a fluoride-containing toothpaste like Pepsodent. This campaign is proudly sponsored by Pepsodent in partnership with Ghana Dental Association.
Dive into a new era of news consumption with myjoyonline.com, your go-to destination for cutting-edge journalism, giving you the most credible stories from business to politics and from sports to entertainment. Myjoyonline.com introduces an upgraded news website meticulously designed to empower you with an enriched browsing experience like never before. Experience the future of news browsing with myjoyonline.com.
We've had an interesting conversation with Professor Ransford Jampo and Dr. Odro-Osai. I must say that we didn't know in advance that they actually both had the same view on whether or not local level elections should be held on partisan basis. That was not really the thrust of our conversation. We're trying to find out how we can make local level elections more democratic. And that conversation will continue because, indeed, there are many who believe that it should be done on a non-partisan basis. And if we're to have that conversation in the future, we'll make sure that all voices are represented.
Well, Kojo, the point is very simple. In 2019, when we're all talking about, having MMDCEs elected on partisan basis, the general consensus of many Ghanaians was that no, we needed an election and we didn't want election on partisan basis. In fact, the two main political parties at the time, both the NPP and NDC, had agreed that the elections be held on partisan basis. But after, some persons, led, by Samson Ladi and Anyanini at the time, argued that we did not need partisanship at the local level. And because of the support, that particular campaign enjoyed from Ghanaians, the NDC joined the support and said, look, well, initially we felt that it should be on partisan basis, but we've changed our minds. We agree with the majority of Ghanaians. At the time, there were lots and lots of discussions here and there. But of course, the president eventually taking a decision that, we wanted this election, we were for the election of MMDCEs, but of course, we wanted it on a partisan basis. Look, this is it. Ghanaians are unhappy with the monetization of our politics. Ghanaians are unhappy with acrimony at a local level, particularly when it comes to the election of members of parliament and the president. Ghanaians just do not like what they see, that people are killed, people are injured just because of who goes to parliament and who becomes president. Now, this is what Ghanaians are saying. We have seen our local level elections being very, very peaceful. Okay, compared to, partisanship, parliamentary and presidential elections. So last week, even though the people say, but the political parties are involved, the political parties sponsor candidates. But this is it. Even though the political parties, sponsored candidates, I know, political party persons, party persons, card-bearing members, and you're not bad from contesting when you're a card-bearing member of a political party. Who were asked to step down by their political party. They did not step down, they went through.
Exactly.
Today, they have not lost the membership of their political parties by virtue of their decision to contest that particular election. After all, you don't have to represent any political party. So, yes, we've spoken about it, but I think that, and the question you asked, it's very simple. If we can forgo a referendum and take a decision on electing these people, Why do we want to go the long way of having a referendum? Let us just decide this moment that we want our MMDCEs elected, and that will be it. So that when I want to, I mean, I'm not going to wake up in the morning and be told there's a new MCE for Ga East. So that I know at least that the next person who wants to be MCE, I would be interested in engaging who wants to be MCE for Ga East. I'd be interested in finding out from that person how that person wants to use the funds that will be made available, from government, and how that person wants to be able to raise additional funding to be able to develop the municipal assembly. These are the sort of conversations that you want to have. But these are conversations you can never have with, the current MCE. These are conversations you can never have, with partisan MCs. Because what would they tell you? They actually would rally will rally their political party members, show up in their numbers, and vote for them.
Yeah.
What we want to do, if we really want to deepen our democracy, what we have to do is to continue as the Constitution prescribes. It is not a broken one that we must fix. After all, what has partisanship done for us all as well?
Exactly. I mean, and if you are able to identify the numerous ways in which partisanship is leading us astray, why would your solution be to do more of it? It is just a counterintuitive approach to this thing that I struggle to follow the logic of. Because look, we all see it. We all see how this nation has been captured by two political parties. To the extent that, and I think Dr. Odrosai was suggesting that the reason why we haven't seen independence coming through is because we haven't seen the right caliber of independent. Really? At the national level, we haven't had independent candidates who were the right caliber to be president? Dr. Indum was not the right caliber. People like Abu Sakara were not the right caliber to be president. That's why people didn't vote for them. No, it's because we have two political parties that have captured the political landscape. And we need to find a way of wrestling the thing back from them. Otherwise, we will always be faced with impossible choices going into the ballot box every 4 years. Because the two parties have demonstrated the limits of their ability. Are we trying to say that as a nation, this is it? This is the best we can do? We had better start giving independents and non-partisan politicians platforms to demonstrate their ability. And if we don't do that at the local level, where else will we do it?
Look, Kojo, today the president can decide that he's fired MMDCs like he's done. Nobody can ask him any question. End of the world. Tomorrow, constituency executives can decide that an MCE is not taking good care of them. So the MCE should not be given the chance to contest the election again on the ticket of their political party. He will not show up there. Okay? And we're talking about, there should be a ceiling to how much you can spend here and there. Which body is going to be disqualifying these people? I am saying, if we really, really want to deepen participation at the grassroots level, let us just stay on it this way. And in fact, if we decide today to elect MMDCs on non-partisan basis, members of parliament will be free.
Thank you.
And members of parliament now, in order to get to parliament, will tell us their positions and how they're going to make governance, how they're going to hold the government accountable. They will tell us their positions on certain laws, so that if you're going there, people would no longer show up in parliament and go and do but they would go telling you what it is that they see wrong with the system. The private members' bills that they will be introducing in parliament to make our governance better. That is the way to develop a democracy.
Why do we want to give a president who already has far too much power even more power? Why do we want to do that? Why is that our preference? Seriously, look at the president we have today, who can tell you that since you didn't choose my person as your MP, I have taken my eye off you when it comes to development. Imagine extending that to the local level. DCEs, who are the ones who are supposed to control the resources with which your area must be developed. And then you make the mistake of going to choose a DCE who is from the party in opposition. And you have a president like the one we have today. What will happen?
Lots of your messages this morning. Kokuna Negbe says, with time it is going to be clear that what we are seeing as partisanship at MMDAs is only a referendum on unpopular governments. Rather than simply opting to make it partisan, let's engage for a better solution. Politicians must be off it. Adedikweno says, we cannot continue with the current system where a president appoints MCEs. Locally, our future demands on competent and able leaders to steer the development forward, not incompetent party hacks. We're rid of our useless wager by MCE. Okay. K_K says, the justification given by Prof. Ransford Jampo for the president to fire these MCEs is precisely the reason why MCEs and DCEs ought to be elected from the onset. Underperformance and incompetence must be yardstick, not politics. From Ajiman Joseph says, good morning. For me, I think the local government elections should be based on partisanship, because if one's party is not in power, he or she will find it difficult channeling development. Well, you have funds available to you. You must show us how you're going to raise funds. From Ni in Dakoman says, voting for DCs on partisan basis entrenches the exploitation of citizen resources by politicians. It takes away some checks and balances which we would have had in our governance system to aid the fight against corruption. And this one says, I support the elections on non-partisan basis. I even want to extend it to parliamentary elections and have only presidential elections on partisan basis, so the president will have no say in any of them. That's Ben from Dansoman City there. Okay, so lots of you sending in your messages. We'll come back and read more of your messages, but this is the point for me, and as many of you have already indicated, if it's not broken, you don't fix it. Today, we say our district level elections, very peaceful. If we want, if people have an understanding and appreciation of local government, and they know that they are electing persons, okay, who would be in charge of their development, I tell you what, they would show up there to go and vote. They would show up and go and vote, because then they know that these persons are the persons going to transform their localities. Look, there's a whole local economic development policy in this country that actually says that districts should leverage their competitive advantage to transform their communities. So they're talking about districts having partnerships with, governments, NGOs, donor agencies, everybody who matters in actually developing their districts. How well have district chief executives taking advantage of the resources that are at their disposal in developing their localities? All they do is to wait for common fund. If they get any amount of money, what they do is to employ, because they can actually hire people on contract basis. Some of them get money through their internally generated funds. They employ people into the assembly, pay them. Go to the assemblies today, people are engaged in all kind of expenditure that they cannot justify. Why? Because it is business as usual. Enough. Anyway, stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
You no longer need to travel far to access your funds, send from abroad, or conduct local transfers. With a network of 147 rural and community banks, RCBs, and more than 800 locations across the country, ARB Apex Bank and the RCBs boast of the largest bank branch network in the country for all money transfer services.
Whether you are receiving funds from abroad or conducting local transfers, ARB Apex Bank and rural and community banks provide you with the convenience through various trusted money transfer services such as Western Union, Ria Money, Unity Link, Apex Link, and Ghana Pay. Visit us today to access a wide range of banking and money transfer services. ARB Apex Bank and rural community banks, together for progress.
Let me share
share my experience with you at the new Aqua Safari Resorts. When you arrive, you're greeted by warm smiles and introduced to your 24-hour butler who already has your itinerary sorted. Enjoy water sports activities like jet ski rides, kayaking, water sliding, flyboarding, and castanet fishing. You can even have your lunch here on the boat cruise. Let the tour guides take you through the sceneries of the mangrove forest, the friendliness of the animals, while you pet and feed them. We chose to have our breakfast with a beautiful sunrise right in front of our cabin.
Visit Aqua Safari Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
National Health Insurance.
Great news! The National Health Insurance Scheme (NHIS) has waived the waiting period for all members aged 70 years and above. All 70 years and above are also exempted from paying a premium. Enrollment and renewal are absolutely free on the NHIS. Members who are 70 years and above can automatically access healthcare when they newly register with the NHIS or renew their membership annually. You are no longer required to serve the 1-month waiting period for late renewals. Dad, mom, grandpa, and grandma, let your old age be filled with good health and access instant healthcare at zero cost on the NHIS today. Download the My NHIS mobile app to register with your Ghana card or visit the nearest NHIS office. Terms and conditions apply. For details, contact the NHIS call center on 054 444 6447 or 0302 746 447. NHIS, your access to quality healthcare. This message is brought to you by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID.
This Valentine's Day, take the love road as the King of Hearts, Kwabna and the Queen of Love and Soul, Becca, rock it live in a never-before stage experience collabo. It's the Vitamilk Love Night. The most romantic night of the year is here and you must be there. Get a ticket now at a cool 300 Ghana Cedis single or 500 Ghana Cedis double at kbkblive.com or dial *714*700#. Need an exclusive experience? Call 0243-528-412 or 0247-297-409 for table reservations for VIP or for VVIP. It's Kwabna and Becca live at the Vitamilk Love Night with superstar appearances by your favorite acts. Supported by Joy FM, produced by Image Bureau, and proudly brought to you by Vitamilk.
Dive into a new era of news consumption with myjoyonline.com, your go-to destination for cutting-edge journalism, giving you the most credible stories from business to politics and from sports to entertainment. Myjoyonline.com introduces an upgraded news website meticulously designed to empower you with an enriched browsing experience like never before. Experience the future of news browsing with myjoyonline.com.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set.
you're welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show. And listen, just before we leave you in the hands of our team, highest paid DJ, let me remind you that kingdomstoreonline.com wants you to just come and browse their amazing quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture, as well as their award-winning stationery. And of course, anything you see and like, you can pay for via Momo across all networks at kingdomstoreonline.com. And then if you live in Accra or Tema, you can just relax at home and wait for your free delivery. Terms and conditions apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
So at APSA, we believe that you and your car deserve to be rewarded. To get more for your protection with a motor insurance policy from APSA, underwritten by Hollard Insurance, our comprehensive third-party fire and theft motor insurance policies not only ensure that your vehicle stays protected, but you also get rewarded with fuel vouchers from now till the 31st of March 2024. That's not all. You also enjoy free roadside assistance, have the option for a car hire, post-vehicle repair inspection, and more when you sign up for our comprehensive cover. The qualifying minimum premium to be rewarded is 482 Ghana cedis. Discover how to get things on at apsa.com.gh or the nearest APSA branch. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, listen, wherever you are, let me ask you a question. Are you in love with your lover? Yes, if you're listening to me and they are sitting next to you, just ask them right now. Say, baby, are you in love with me? And get ready to ignite the flames of passion as KBKB Vitamilk presents a heart-throbbing experience like never before. It's the King of Hearts, Kwabena, live on stage with the Queen of Love and Soul, Becca, at the Vitamilk Love Night. Valentine's Day, February 14 at the Grand Arena from 7 p.m. sharp. Yes, the most romantic night of the year is finally here. Take the Love Road now. Get yourself a ticket for only 300 Ghana cedis single or 500 cedis double at kbkbmusic.com or just dial star 714 star 700 hash. Yearning for an exclusive VIP experience? Well, here's the number to call: 0243 528 412 or 0247 297 409. Call those numbers for table reservations now. It's Kwabena and Becca live on stage at the Vitamilk Love Night alongside superstar appearances by your favorite artists. This is all supported by Joy FM, produced by Ghana's best in the business, Image Bureau, and brought to you with love by Vitamilk. Okay, this is where we draw a curtain on it. We're back tomorrow with more on the Super Morning Show, but stay on Joy until then. My name is Kojo Yankson. I'm the morning man.
My name is Winston Amwa.
Have a good one.